Allegri kicks off to Chris Carter. Carter outside the 15, outside the 20 to the 23. Stopped by Odessa Turner. Randall Cunningham, 6'4" and 192, and a marvelous athlete, will start at quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. The defense he'll be facing: Martin, Howard, and Marshall, the down linemen. The linebackers: Banks, Pepper Johnson, Harry Carson, and Lawrence Taylor, we think. And the secondary: Collins and Williams on the corners, Terry Kennard and Kenny Hill, the safety men. 1st and 10 Eagles at the Giant 24. Andy Hedden is starting in place of Lawrence Taylor. Kenny Jackson is the move man. Haddix, the up back, moved too soon. Flags go down on the first play. Gain of 2 by Anthony Toney. It's been a long, tedious year for Bill Parcells. One that really has left him a...
Number 26 offense. He moved while he had a man in motion. Illegal shift. Penalty refused. 2nd down.
Gene Barth, the referee. They turn down the penalty. It'll bring up a 2nd and 9, 8.5, or in that area. Randall Cunningham. Bright and sunny, but very windy. Haddix and Toney behind Cunningham. Again, that's Jackson on the move. Cunningham to Toney. To about the 28. Stopped by Carl Banks first with an assist from Kenny Hill. The Eagle offense: Cunningham, Haddix, and Toney. Mike Quick and Kenny Jackson, the wide receivers. Darwin, Schreiber, Ferry, Baker, Conwell, and Spagnola, the tight end. And here comes Lawrence Taylor, number 56, as they go into that nickel defense. 3rd down and 5. The Eagles operating from their own 29. Jackson and Quick both split wide to the right. Garrity is to the left. Cunningham up and out of the pocket. And around Banks. And out of bounds. Couldn't find anybody, and they'll have to punt. Mark Collins. He lost 4. Let's see how mobile Lawrence Taylor might be.
Well, you can see him. He's the down lineman. He's the 2nd guy right in here. Because that's what Bill Parcells was saying yesterday. He said, I don't know how much linebacker he can play, but we can put him in to rush the passer. You see him that time, he was on Joe Connell. He took an inside move, and Connell took him down.
McConkey back deep for the Giants. Short eagle kick off the side of Telchik's foot. And the Giants will take it over in good shape. A 17-yard punt. Phil Simms will open at quarterback for the Giants. Last time it was Jeff Rutledge. The defense he'll be looking at: White, Clark, Pitts, and Clyde Simmons. The linebackers: Seth Joyner, Mike Reichenbach, and Gary Cobb. And in the secondary, Roynell Young and William Frizzell. Terry Hogue and Andre Waters, the safety men. 1st and 10 Giants at the Eagle 42. Carthon in motion. And Sims goes right to work. At the 20. 1st down. Taken out by Hogue, but a penalty marker down on the play.
Illegal shot to the face. Number 99 defense. Penalty refused. 1st down.
Jerome Brown. Call for the illegal move to the face. Let's see if we can pick it up. We'll watch Bavaro.
Well, you know, it was just a matter of time, because what the Giants were going to do is start out passing here, and you see that illegal shot to the face. It was on Mark Bavaro, the guy who caught the pass. So maybe that just threw him off enough that it looked like a move to the strong safety.
That was Clyde Simmons, number 96. 1st and 10 Giants. Joe Morris, the lone setback behind Sims. Back to Morris. Ken Clark was the first Eagle there. Sims, the quarterback. Maurice Carthon, the fullback. Joe Morris, the running back. On the ball carrier on that play, Lionel Manuel and Stephen Baker started wide receiver. Benson, Ard, Oates, Damian Johnson, and William Roberts on the right side, and Mark Bavaro, the tight end. Second down and 8. Giants at the Eagle 19, and Adams has replaced Carthon. Bavaro in motion. Sims. Bavaro juggles, touchdown. He got it before he went out of the end zone. Covered by Gary Cobb.
That's the area the Giants like to go to Bavaro. They had 2 tight ends. They lined him up on the right side. Now watch him. He's like a slot back. He's going to come in motion to the left. Comes in motion. He usually runs that seam pass or post pattern right here. That time they had him run it for motion. He got isolated man-to-man on a linebacker, used a little push-off, and got the touchdown.
Got away with one. Rutledge will hold for Raul Alegre. Extra point is good, and the Giants lead at 7-0. They made it look easy. So with 12 minutes and 39 seconds left to play in the first quarter, it's the Giants 7 and the Eagles nothing. Took them just 3 plays. Stadium. Giants on a touchdown pass from Sims to that man, Mark Bavaro, his 6th touchdown of the season, the most of his career. That same play almost every time when they get in that area.
Once they get down inside the 30, you're going to see Mark Bavaro run that post pattern, or as the Giants call it, the seam pattern.
Chris Carter right at his own goal line. Out of the pack and finally brought down by Tom Flynn as he gets out to the 28.
Most of the time, Bavaro lines up as a tight end to run it, but here he is as a slot. Now he's going to come in motion. Now Gary Cobb, the linebacker, comes in motion with him. Then he runs his post. You say, what happened to the safety? He ran right by him because he was going out here with the up. Now watch as Bavaro comes across here. Number 50, Gary Cobb, comes with him. That's a linebacker on him. He gets no help from the safety. The safety runs out for the outside receiver, and that puts one-on-one with Cobb on Bavaro.
And a little push.
That always helps.
This is outside the quick. Mark Collins up there in a hurry. A gain of only a yard.
This is one thing you like to do early in the game with a young quarterback is just get him a couple of completions. So what they start here, a little play fake, come out and throw a screen out to Quick. Just a quick pass. But Collins got up there quick. Boom, right now, took on the block and made the tackle. That's a good defensive play by Mark Collins.
They only got a yard. 2nd and 9. Oh, Spagnuolo on the move. This is Haddix. Outside the 35 and out of bounds after a pickup of about 7. Carl Banks on the stop.
Michael Haddix was a #1 draft choice a couple years ago with the Eagles, and he wasn't starting. Anthony Toney was the fullback, and Keith Byers was the running back. And then Buddy Ryan says, we just weren't getting enough blocking there. You know, I mean, Byers wasn't blocking well, and the first thing I want in my running backs is to be able to block. So that's why he put Haddix back in there now with Toney as the tailback.
He has always felt that Haddix is an excellent blocker. Cunningham now operates out of the spread formation. Forward handoff to Toney, who has enough for the first down, but there are flags on the play. Kenny Hill finally tripped him up. Toney got 9. Had a big game last week against New England.
Offense, offside, 5-yard penalty, will replay it in.
That was Joe Conwell. He fired out on a linebacker. I thought he got off the ball well, but I guess he left a little early. Watch him, he's right here, 79. Now watch, he just started a little early. Watch him come down on Pepper Johnson. I was watching that and I thought, geez, Conwell really took off well on that play.
A little too well.
Well, of course he did. He left early. That'll give you a well takeoff.
3rd down then. Line of scrimmage, the Eagle 32. The Giants leading 7-0. Cunningham again in the spread formation. Wind at his back, I think. Taylor, he spins away from him. flags go down. Might be a face mask. It might be against number 56.
Well, Lawrence Taylor was the key to that play, his rush, because he was the first guy that got to Randall Cunningham. And they were spying or mirroring Cunningham too, but it was number 52.
With a face mask penalty on the defensive team, normally it's a 5-yard penalty, but we'll bring it up to the previous spot and replay the third down.
Watch Lawrence Taylor here now. Now he's a pass rush guy. He's lining up like a defensive end, not Joe Conwell. You see, he has that rush. He got that arm up underneath his arm. And as you see, he's the first guy to Cunningham, and he was also the guy that got the face mask. Got it with that right hand. And then they had, in addition to that, Pepper Johnson was mirroring Cunningham.
3rd and 7 again then. They replay the down. Cunningham again back in the spread. He will come out, but not for long. Lawrence Taylor again, along with Carl Banks.
Lawrence Taylor is such a great player. We've always seen him as linebacker. He got that hamstring. So now we just watch him starting a new career here as a down lineman. Lawrence Taylor can beat you anyway. Watch him on Conwell. Started on a double team and beat a double team.
McConkey fields the punt by Telchik back at his own 40. Just outside the 40, a punt of 37 yards this time, and the Giants take over with things in pretty good order again. 9 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Touchdown from Sims to Bavaro, and the Giants lead it 7-0. Again, Pat Summerall, John Madden going back.
There's Lawrence Taylor right there, and we'll watch him again. You know, the double team, you see Conwell starts to block him, then Haddock's 26 is going to stay there, then he just keeps going. They look around. Taylor starts playing again and comes up with a sack.
So it's first down Giants. George Adams behind Sims this time. Right to work and out to Adams with some room in front. Adams gets into Eagle territory, out of bounds by William Frizzell, but a pickup of 13 and a Giant first down.
Last week, Bill Parcells started Maurice Carthon at fullback and didn't play Adams much. And he said that today he wants to get Adams in the game more because he can do more things. When Carthon is in there, they're locked into running most of the time.
Lone setback this time is Morris, and that's Bavaro on the move. Out to Morris. Morris breaks a couple of tackles. Stopped finally by Mike Reichenbach. Gain of 2. That's taking place over on the sideline, obviously, and that's what they're doing to try to stretch that hamstring that Lawrence Taylor pulled in the previous meeting between these two down at Veterans Stadium. Adams, the lone setback again. He swings it outside to Adams again. Adams gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Andre Waters and Terry Hogue on the stop. The Giants operating with 2 tight ends and 1 lone setback. Eight and a half minutes left to play in the first quarter. The Giants, after a short punt, took just 3 plays to get it into the end zone. 3rd and 8. Now it's Tony Galbraith. Sims yells some late instructions. Manuel comes in motion. Blitz coming. Intended for Manuel. Roydell Young up very quickly. And I think Lionel heard him coming.
Well, and that's what you call a sight adjustment. And Manuel was sight adjusting in more than one way. He started on his pattern and he saw the blitz coming, so then you have to look right now knowing the quarterback's going to get rid of it. Of course, he was looking back at Sims and looking at the defender. He was doing a lot of sight adjusting.
Here's Landetta back to punt. Bobby Morse back deep for the Eagles. And the ball takes a funny bounce, and the Giants are down to down it just about the 6-yard line. 36-yard punt, no return. It was Bart Oates, the first man down, the man who did the snapping. 7-0. The Giants lead the Eagles. And Stadium. Giants leading the Eagles 7-0. Average starting field position so far. The Giants have been operating the 2 times they've been on offense from midfield. The Eagles way back deep in their own territory. This is Anthony Toney. Cut off by Hedden. Toney gets to about the 10, but there's a penalty marker down on the play.
You know, that field position, I think the other important thing is that the Giants have the wind.
That'll be against Philadelphia.
So they not only get the good field position, but they're going with the wind. And the Eagles have had the bad field position and going into the wind.
Holding.
It really is.
Offense, half the distance from the goal line. The foul occurred on the 10-yard line. It goes back to the 5. Still first down.
Buddy Ryan looking on right in the middle of your picture. Not very happily at the moment. Atlanta jumped out in front of Dallas in a hurry. First and 12. The ball back at the Eagle 5. Haddix and Toney, the 2 running backs. Haddix, just a couple. Eric Howard, who is playing in place of Jim Burt at nose tackle, made the stop. The Eagles have not really exploded yet, have they?
Well, that's the other thing. When you have poor field position, penalties, and into the wind, it's tough to get anything going. Kennard finally tripped him up, but a pickup of 12 by Anthony Toney, who gets better with each passing week. Well, I think the thing Buddy Ryan likes about Anthony Toney is that he's a tough guy. I mean, he'll do those tough things. He'll take that ball, he'll see a hole like this, and he'll turn it up, put it away, run over some guys, keep those legs going, and get a first down for you. You know, and then he'll block for you. You expect a running back to gain yards and catch some ball, but he'll also do those tough things for you.
Plus, he's a big guy. This is Toney around the left side. Hit by Flynn. And knocked out of bounds. A gain of 8. Haddix, a good block. For an NFL update, here's Brent Musburger in our studio in New York.
Well, Pat, you gave the score. Here's how it happened. Atlanta struck first on a long pass, then the ensuing kickoff. It's coughed up, jarring tackle, and Robert Moore dashes in. 14-0 right now. Atlanta leads Dallas. Back to Pat and John.
7-0 Giants here at Giant Stadium. Eagles with the ball. 2nd down and 2 at their own 27. Close to a first. Toney again.
You know, one good thing for the Eagles about running the ball on 1st down and 2nd down and picking up first downs running is they keep Lawrence Taylor off the field, because it looks like he's only going to come in on those long yardage or passing downs. So that's one way to keep him over there and a little cold and a little frustrated.
And maybe that hamstring they hope will tighten up again.
I wouldn't be surprised with that in mind if the Eagles started throwing a little on 1st down, because he's going to be a problem for them all day.
Quick is split wide to the left. Jackson to the right. It's back to Toney, who slips down. Haddix, beg your pardon. No gain.
That was right out there. Haddix had the block, but that's a tough cut to make. because what happened was right after he caught a pitch. You know, if you have a handoff, then you can look and see. But when you have a pitch, then you have to look at the pitch and then make the cut. And that happens a lot of times. The guy will trip trying to make the catch and the cut at the same time.
That'll make it 2nd and 10. Draw play to Haddix. Carson tripped him up after a gain of 4. Less than 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter. The Giants leading the Eagles 7-0.
And now, of course, now they got that 3rd down, so now the Giants bring in that nickel package that includes Lawrence Taylor, the extra defensive backs, and so on. And I think that defense is the one that's going to give the Eagles the most problem today.
And again, Taylor plays as a down lineman. Howard jumped too soon.
Saying he didn't.
Brooklyn, 74 defense. 5-yard penalty. We're just short of a 1st down. Still 3rd and 1.
I've never understood how they can do that, how the nose tackle, when he's lined up right over the ball. And the thing that you teach every defensive lineman, don't watch any movement other than the ball. You move when the ball moves.
3rd and 1. Howard playing because Jim Burt had some back spasms. Didn't even dress. In fact, is not even at the stadium. Cunningham behind the line of scrimmage by Carl Banks. A loss of 2.
I'll tell you, the thing is, watch Banks here. He's going to get the penetration, and Cunningham is going to come back. And watch this thing here. As Banks comes so quickly there, Cunningham dropped the ball, and before he could pick it up or do anything, Carl Banks was right at his ankles.
Telchik back to punt for Philadelphia. Into the wind. McConkey back deep for the Giants. This is a good kick. Good kick. McConkey fields it at the 20. McConkey out to the 32, stopped by Terry Hogue. 43-yard punt by Telchik, a return of 12. So they net 31. 2:25 left first quarter. Nothing. Their 2nd meeting of the year. The Giants won the first one by 3. 1st and 10. Lee Roussan comes in now, and he is split wide to the left. George Adams is the lone setback. On 1st down again, screen to Adams, and it's pretty well set up. Flag on the play. Adams in Eagle territory to the 40. Andre Waters brought it down after a gain of 27, but a penalty marker down way back at the line of scrimmage against the Giants.
Hey, that was a good play set up out here. He had 2 blockers out in front of him, Lee Roussan and his center, Bart Oates.
Number 67, holding. 10-yard penalty. It'll still be 1st down.
But it was a left guard that was called for holding, though.
He was holding Mike Reichenbach. Maybe that's one of the reasons it was set up so well. One of the few offensive linemen that have remained healthy all season long for the Giants. Billy Ard. 1st down and 18. That's Lionel Manuel on the move. It seems back to throw it again. Navarro, the intended receiver, up the middle. Seth Joyner on the coverage. For another NFL update, let's send you back again to Brent Musburger in New York.
All right, Pat, here is the longest non-strike scoring pass of the season. Schrader of the Redskins pulls out. Clark, the receiver, they go 84 yards and strike first on the St. Louis Cardinals. Make it 7-0 Skins. Back to Pat and John.
Jay Schrader won his job back last week for his performance, particularly in the second half against the Giants. Roussan and Adams, and that's Adams on the move. And Sims back to throw again. Up out of the pocket. Gary Cobb was the man who confronted Sims and made him go to the slide. to play now in the first quarter. The Giants continue to lead at 7-0. Buddy Ryan trying to stay warm. And it is cold on this side of the field, the Eagles side of the field. The Giants are in the sunshine. And Seth Joyner. That's the first sack.
You see what happens here is they get a rush on Sims, and the first thing you can do on a rush, the first thing a quarterback can do is step up. Now, if you can step up and throw, you're okay. But watch him here. He steps up. Now the thing collapses on him again. So they had the first collapse, then he stepped up, then they had another line in front of him.
Landetta's kick sails down to Bobby Morse. He steps out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. Byron Hunt was the first man down. 47-yard punt by Landetta. And a return of 5. So the Eagles take over. Clock stopped with 37 seconds left now at Giant Stadium. That's in the first quarter.
The other thing that's impressed me about both of these teams, Pat, and talking to the teams and watching them practice is that for all intent and purposes, they're both out of the playoff picture, but they're still playing with a lot of intensity. I mean, this isn't a team, neither one of these teams are teams that have given up or looking forward to next year. None of that type of thing.
Cunningham to Tony. Pickup of 3. Eric Howard made the stop with an assist from Harry Carson.
The Eagles have a tough time right now because what they're trying to do is run, but when you run every time on first down, then there's no one better playing the run than the Giants. I mean, they really don't have any weak holes there when they know you're going to run. Now, if you can get them in that situation where you get them off balance a little, then you have a chance to run. But when you start giving them the down that you're going to run every time, they can gang up and play it as well as anyone.
Well, they just wait, and the clock runs out. That's the end of the first quarter with the score, the Giants 7, Philadelphia nothing. To the Giants 4.5. The Giants lead at 7-0 nevertheless. Here's Cunningham. That's Chris Carter. And Carter is out of bounds. Taken out by Kenny Hill and Terry Kennard, but a good game.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about the Eagles running on first down all the time. They've run 5 out of 6 times. This is a second down pass here to Chris Carter, but I think now that they have the win and Cunningham hits one of those like this to Carter, I think they'll probably start throwing a little more on first down. Now's the time to do it. Wouldn't be bad to come right back with a pass now to loosen up that Giant defense.
Michael Haddix is the lone setback. Eagle first down at the Giant 41. They give to Haddix. Gets inside the 40. Pickup of 3. Andy Hedden made the stop.
Look at those Eagle offensive linemen as I go back to the huddle. You know, it's interesting. It's a cold day out there, but you notice none of them wear undershirts. I think that's a rule in the NFL. If you're an offensive lineman, you can't wear anything under. You just have to let some pads and some skins hang out there. That's all. All the other guys have shirts underneath and all that stuff. Offensive linemen, oh, they got that motor going all the time.
2nd and 7. Hit right at the line of scrimmage. Leonard Marshall. By the way, Ron Baker, the Eagle offensive guard, this is his 100th start, number 63. The rest of them relatively young, but Baker has hung on and hung in there. 3rd and 7. There's Ron Baker.
You know, Matt Darwin, who's playing left tackle now and playing very well, was a center. Buddy Ryan says when they moved him to tackle, he's a lot more aggressive out there.
And off again to Haddix. Gain of only 1.
So I thought after that pass that they hit Chris Carter on, they'd come back and pass. Just shows you what I know. They'd run 3 straight. I would think when you get field position and you get the wind with you, that would be a pretty good time to throw the ball. The Eagles decided, nope, we'll run 3 in a row and punt it.
John Telchik will do the honors. McConkey back deep for the Giants. McConkey standing at about his own 10. Lets it go over his head. It takes a sideways bounce and rolls out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. 34-yard punt. But a good bounce for the Eagles and a good job by Telchik. 7-0. Giants still lead. The Eagles 7-0 with 12:50 left to play in the first half. Mark Bavaro scored the touchdown. A pass from Phil Simms from 19 yards out. The Eagles have netted only 10 yards passing. 1st and 10 Giants at their own 3.5-yard line. They're going against the wind now.
When you're down here, the first thing you want to do is get the ball out to the 10-yard line. That's your immediate goal.
Well, they got their running package in there now. Morris and Carthon. And Joe Morris accomplished just exactly what you said.
That's the thing. Now your next goal, your first goal is to get it out to the 10, then the next goal becomes to get a first down. So they'll probably come right back with another run to pick up the first down.
Morris got 9 on that run. So it's 2nd and 1. Seth Joyner made the tackle. Different result.
I think that was a poor move there by Joe Morris, because when you have short yardage and you only have less than a half yard to go and you have a lead block by your fullback, you just follow him in there. Don't bounce it out. Let's watch it again. You can see Carthon is cheated up there. He's going to lead. Now just follow right in there. Find the soft spot and gain a yard, because when you bounce out, you have no help out there and you have the chance of the loss.
And that's exactly what they got. It brings up a 3rd and 2. Same backfield. That's Zeke Moat in motion. And off Morris. I don't believe he got it. Ken Clark stopped him after he got about a half yard. Maybe not that much.
You're right. He didn't get it, but where he really lost it, and the thing that has to upset Bill Parcells, was not necessarily the 3rd down play, because that was a short yardage one, but that 2nd down play.
The one where he took it outside.
Where he bounced it out for the 2-yard loss.
Landetta standing in his own end zone, and Bobby Morse back at midfield for Philadelphia. Flags everywhere.
That could give the Giants a first down.
Eagles are going to say, of course, that somebody pulled us offside.
The officials are going to have a meeting about it.
That does give them a first down.
Encroachment 53 defense. 5-yard penalty and a first down.
We'll see it right here. Again, the encroachment is when you go in that neutral zone. See, the center can move. He's looking between his legs. Then when he came up, the Eagles thought that that was some movement of the ball, and they moved. That's the thing. You know, that's why the coach you're always talking about. Watch the ball. Watch the ball. Watch the ball.
They move it out to the 17, where it's 1st and 10 Giants. No Morris behind Simms. Morris with a little bit of room this time gets outside the 20. Terry Hogue came up to make the stop, but Morris got 7. 2 tight ends together.
Well, the Giants have been doing a lot of this, and we see there's Zeke Moat. He's the outside guy. Mark Bavaro is the slot. So they get 2 tight ends blocking right at the hole. Bavaro takes on Reggie White, just takes him, pushes him beyond. Moat takes the defensive back, pushes him beyond, and that's the crease that Joe Morris runs into.
Hand off to Adams, and Adams will have a Giant first down out to the 30. A gain of 6. Andre Waters made the stop.
Yeah, it's interesting here, Pat. It looks like the Giants have 2 game plans. One with the wind to throw the ball, and the other against the wind just to run the ball.
Which is a sensible idea.
Well, it is sensible, and you think the Eagles would have done the same thing, but they had good field possession. They ran 3 in a row their last series.
Roussan and Adams this time, the running back tandem. Sims chase. Gets rid of it in the direction of Roussan. Clyde Simmons is the man who really put the heat on Phil Simms. And he is struggling to get up.
We know Phil Simms is coming off a knee injury. Played last week for the first time after being out for 3 weeks, but that didn't look like it was his knee. That looked more like the area of the back. But Clyde Simmons just came across there like he was shot out of a gun. Simms was just trying to get the ball away, and he saw Roussan.
Somebody had to miss an assignment for Simmons to be that free, that quick. 2nd and 10 at the 30. Simms gives to Barnes. To the 36. Gain of 7. Gary Cobb tripped him up with Clyde Simmons.
Morris got a good lead block that time from George Adams as fullback. I think if Adams does more of that good blocking, I think you're going to see him more and more in there. Because it used to be they'd have to put Carthon in to get the blocking, and then they would put Adams in to get the running and pass receiving.
Simms this time will drop back into the spread formation. Manuel goes in motion. And here's Tony Galbert. A play they've run so many times. Flag down on the play. Galbert got enough for the first down. Knocked out of bounds after a gain of 8. But I'm sure they're going to bring it back. Holding.
Tell you who got a good block on that one was a right guard, Chris Godfrey. He came out and leveled someone.
Holding, number 89 offense. 10-yard penalty. Will replay the 3rd down.
Ball against Bavaro.
Some Bavaro, but watch Godfrey on the block that he makes coming out to this side. Bavaro was up on the other side, was his hold. Watch that block right there. Boom! He went down. That gave Galbraith a pretty soft corner.
3rd and 11. Simms back to throw. Again, he's under pressure. Gets it out to Galbraith. Galbraith outside the 35. Not enough for the first down. A gain of 8. Ken Clark made the stop. And the Giants will have to punt. 7-0. They lead the Eagles with 8:16, 8:15 now make it left in the first half. Sean Landetta in to punt. And Bobby Morse back deep for the Eagles. Line drive kick by Landetta. Bounces way in front of Bobby Morse. And the Giants down it. Robbie Jones down. 27-yard kick into the wind by Landetta. 7-0. Giants still lead. Madden. 7-0. Giants lead with 7:50 left to play in the first half. Philadelphia has averaged just 2.6 yards on first down. The Giants 6.2. That can be significant. Up into the pocket and now out of the pocket. She does so well. Harry Carson tripped him up, but he gained 7.
You know, I think the Eagles thought the same thing that we did is with that 2.6 average on first down, that's not enough, so they better start throwing some on first down. Of course, that's the 3-way go that you get with Cunningham. I mean, he can go back and throw it. He can go back and scramble around and still throw it, or he can go back and run it. So he's not a bad guy to have the ball in his hands on first down.
2nd down and 4. Haddix nudges straight ahead for 3. In that San Francisco-Green Bay game, by the way, Joe Montana has completed 20 consecutive passes over the last 2 games for the 49ers. For more on that, let's go back for an update to Brent Musburger.
Well, Pat, that ties the record. So the Green Bay Packers are looking for the record breaker, and Joe Montana runs a little quarterback draw for the touchdown. They botched the extra point, folks. 13-0 back to Pat.
7-0 at Giant Stadium. 6.5 minutes left. Flag is down. Haddix went straight ahead. No gain. Not enough for a first down. Harry Carson, the defender.
Defense, number 70, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. That'll make it a first down.
That'll make it an Eagle first down. Seth Joyner, by the way, the Eagle linebacker, has a jammed thumb, but he should be able to continue playing.
Well, that penalty there just evened it out. The other one, the Giants were coming out. Remember, on 4th down, they got an extra set of downs. Then on 3rd down, that time, the Eagles didn't make it. But because of the offsides, they get the first down now.
Cunningham, the quarterback. Kenny Jackson and Quick both were split wide to the right. Here comes Cunningham staying in the pocket. Throwing for Quick. Quick, just over, just out of his reach. Perry Williams. The defender, Quick, might have hurt himself on the dive.
Well, it looked like he slowed down before that. That's one thing about Randall Cunningham. I think when you're a receiver on his team, you have to always be alert for the ball. See, Quick was running an out, and then after the out, he ran the up. And then Cunningham's the type of guy who can throw the ball 50 yards on the run. Looked like Quick started to slow up, then he had a boom, try and go again.
And Perry Williams landed right on top of it. And he's still down. Up and walking, but in obvious pain. You can see how he lands on it here, and watch his right arm.
Look, Perry Williams is going with him step for step, and then it looks like the right arm gets tangled up as they roll over there, and then watch the right arm when he comes out here. It's interesting. Perry Williams was right there to help him up. They're both from North Carolina State.
This is Haddix hammering down inside the Giant 30. Perry Williams made the stop. Here's Mike Quick headed for x-rays.
Well, you can see he's holding underneath the elbow. You know, that's how you hold when you have that shoulder injury. You hold the lower arm or the elbow to hold everything in. That is a big loss for the Eagles because of course, Mike Quick, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL.
So they go with Jackson now. And Garrity is the wide receivers. Spagnola, the tight end. This is Anthony Toney. Down to about the 27 before Carson trips him up. No gain.
You see that motion, how Spagnola goes in motion is as he goes by the quarterback Cunningham, he taps him. And that's what tells Cunningham when to snap the ball. Watch the motion as Spagnola comes by here. Watch him tap him there with his left hand. And then that tells Cunningham it's okay to snap the ball now. Your motion man is beyond you.
No gain. 2nd and 10 from the Giant 27. The Giants leading 7-0. Here's Cunningham. Anthony Toney on the receiving end for a pickup of 3.
Look, you can tell how windy it is. There's a bag just going right down to the 10, the 5, and in the end zone. Touchdown.
Wind gusting up to 18 miles an hour when the game began.
Oop, it's coming out back. It's swirling. Look, it's going around in circles down there in the end zone. That'll tell a quarterback a lot. That's up on top. It's going this way. Down on the bottom, it's going the other way.
3rd and 7 at the 24. Cunningham from the spread. And intended up the middle for Junior Totalatasi. Incomplete. He was covered by Andy Hedden.
That's one thing Andy Hedden does well is pass coverage, because even today he's taken the place of Lawrence Taylor, but even when he doesn't, he goes in on passing downs.
So Paul McFadden comes on to try a field goal with Telchik holding. It'll be 41 yards out.
McFadden has a lot of pressure on him. He made the field goal last week that won the game for it in overtime. Buddy Ryan said he saved his job. If he didn't make it, he would have been gone.
Barefooted kicker, and that's going to be perfect. McFadden puts the Eagles on the scoreboard.
It was interesting. Buddy Ryan said we would have had to get rid of him if he didn't make it, and he said I didn't want to do that because he's really a good kid. He said I like him and all the players like him.
4:28 left to play in the first half. 7-3, Giants leading the Eagles.
Now there's a tough thing. You know, we talk about offensive linemen and they're not wearing any shirts underneath their jerseys, but a guy to go out there on a day like this barefooted, you have to enjoy the game, I think.
Well, you have to be different. There's no question about that.
And I don't know how you can do that. I mean, that thing, that right foot right now has to be numb. I mean, like down there in the field, it has to be, it's below freezing. I know that. It's like 20 degrees down there.
With the wind chill factor, you're right. It's 20.
So you have to get some circulation and stuff in there. I mean, that thing can be like a stump.
Maybe that'll make it more effective.
I don't know what they do. I don't know how they keep it. Doesn't have any stuff on it or anything.
No.
You know, like that analgesic or something to keep it warm.
He wants to get on with it. Roussan takes it at the 1, slips down momentarily, back up. And Lee Roussan comes all the way out to the 30. A good return, 29 yards. Russell Gray finally made the stop, but a good return by Roussan.
And it's a big return because that gives them the field position that they need, you know, going into the wind. I'm sure McFadden will put something on now. I mean, besides that shoe, he has to put something on that foot.
Maybe he's going to wrap it up in that coat.
I think they do. I think they wrap it up and stuff.
Here's Joe Morris. Hit right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Seth Joyner and Mike Reichenbach, two of the linebackers.
See, one thing about our Buddy Ryan defense, they also are going to play the run well, and they're going to tackle well, and above all, they're going to be tough.
They're going to pursue.
Right, a guy that's not tough won't wear one of those Eagle uniforms for very long.
Adams is the setback behind Sims. Sims back to throw. Eagles blitzing. Sims chased. Fires it out of bounds, incomplete. Seth Joyner was the man who put the pressure on.
Phil Sims, I don't think, has really come back. You know, whether it's off that injury or to play the way he did last year. I think last year the Giants had everything going. They were healthy. They had everything on a roll. And this year they've never gotten back in sync.
John, I think that issue you just raised is really at the bottom of it all. That healthy.
The big part. You know, you can always blame the strike, but only so long. I mean, they had their problems before there was a strike.
There's Sims back to throw. Mark Ingram, the intended receiver. Sims thought he was going to go deep. Ingram broke it off, and it's incomplete.
That's just what we were talking about, not being in sync. Ingram ran an out pattern, and Sims threw an up pattern.
That's out of sync. Landetta gets off a hanger. Bobby Moore signaled fair catch, made it. There was a fine catch, too. Odessa Turner, the coverage man, down first. A 38-yard punt.
Let's watch that third down pattern, and we'll see the problem here. Ingram comes up here, and he runs an out. Sims back here is looking, and he throws the ball up here. So you don't know who is wrong, but they're not on the same page. Watch Ingram, he's fighting here. Now he's going to come out here to this side, and Sims is going to throw it up there. Now, if you say maybe he was throwing it away, but the way you throw it away is you bring the guy back to you and throw it to the sideline.
So the Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 31. Cunningham sprints out. Gets it outside to Anthony Toney. He's out of bounds, and will stop the clock with 3:15 left to play. In the first half, that is. 6-yard gain.
I tell you, Pepper Johnson put a hit on Toney, didn't he? He came with that full load and a big swing of the right arm. And we could hear that in the sideline. Just watch it again. Watch 52 coming here. 52, they're both running to the sideline. Toney catches a pass. Watch that right arm come in there and club him. That club knocked him 4 yards out of bounds.
2nd and 4. Same play, other way. Harry Carson made the stop. John and I will be in Washington next week for the Cowboys visit to RFK Stadium, or some of you will see Minnesota against Green Bay. It all begins with the NFL today at 12:30. The Giants will be in St. Louis, Atlanta and the Rams, Detroit against Tampa Bay. Check your local listings. 3rd and 1.
You know, no team in today's game has made a 3rd down conversion yet.
That's amazing. A couple of 1st downs as a result of penalties. That might be another one coming up right here. Pepper Johnson jumped into the Eagle backfield.
That's exactly what it is. That's how they get them. They just get to those short yardage, and then the defense jumps.
Got encroachment on defense, 52 and 74. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
You're going to see 52 as Pepper Johnson. He's going to come. He's right up there over the center. Now watch, the ball hasn't been snapped. He sees some movement. He jumps. Eric Howard jumps too. So they had a double jump and no movement of the ball. I wonder if Cunningham isn't doing something with his cadence down there. You know, that's the other way they get him, is, you know, you go hut, 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 like that.
Yep.
And then when you really praise it, they'll sometimes jump on that.
Let's see if we can hear. Quick that time. Intended for Chris Carter, right through his hands. A little bit high. Incomplete.
Well, you know, Chris Carter was the guy that the Eagles got this year after the season started from Ohio State. He was ruled ineligible, then he became eligible for the NFL draft. So he's just now learning the system where the Eagles feel that he's ready to play. And Buddy Ryan calls him a touchdown maker, or he's going to be a touchdown maker.
They got him in the supplemental draft in the 4th round, and they think it's one of the best things they've ever done. Spagnuolo had it and lost it. And now the Giants have it back. Harry Williams picked up Spagnuolo's fumble.
That's one that's going to stay. Pretty good pass protection there. Throws that dart in there. Spagnuolo has it. As he turns to run, he looked like he was just holding it outside in his left hand. Boom, he gets hit. Ball flies out. Perry Williams jumps on it.
And again, it was Pepper Johnson with that big overhand right that knocked the ball loose.
Looks like Mike Tyson's right, the way it's doing so much damage.
George Adams behind Sims. 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first half. 7-3. Sims hit just as he let the ball go. Pass was intended for Zeke Mowatt, but Sims took a hit just as he was starting to throw. Hit by Reggie White. 2-minute warning now. 7-3. The Giants lead the Eagles. And the NBA Finals as well, right here on CBS Sports. Second down and 10. Giants at their own 36. Odessa Turner split wide to the left, and Manuel out to Sims right. Movement again. Bavaro and Ken Clark both jump. I'm not sure who jumped first.
False start, number 89 offense. 5-yard penalty, still stricken down.
We're having more of that in the first half of today's game than I can remember. And that's just Bavaro. The ball hadn't snapped, and he just jumps off. Seems like more offsides, illegal movement, neutral zone.
Here's Morris. A little bit of a delay from Sims, Andre Waters, and Terry Hogue. After a gain of 5, bring him down.
Now this brings up a 3rd and long for the Giants, and they've been having trouble in this situation today, whether it's they don't have the pass protection or they just can't get anyone open against this nickel package. They really haven't been doing very well.
And the Eagles take a timeout. They still have 2 left. Minute 48, first half. First half, 7-3, Giants over the Eagles. Morris. Waters and Hogue again converge. Morris got 5, but it'll bring up a 4th down situation. The Eagles take another timeout. Joyner a little bit slow getting up. Sean Landeta comes on to do the punting for the Giants. For an update again, let's send you back to our New York studio and Brent Busberger again.
Pat, Joe Montana broke the record. Here's the pass that did it. 21 straight completions. He now stands at 22 and counting. 5 last week. Back to Pat.
The 49ers roll on. Giants 7, Eagles 3. Philadelphia 1 timeout remaining now. Bobby Morris back deep. Number 36 and Landeta back to punt for the Giants. Another line drive punt. Morris lets it hop. Now he handles it. Gets to the 25. Barnow's again down first. 43-yard kick. Don't forget, at the half, Brandon Irv with scores and highlights. An interview with Mike Ditka, the head coach of the Bears, and Jerry Burns of the Vikings. They play tonight.
See Mike Ditka, they sent him a pair of skates, and he skated right through the office. He said he doesn't believe that they ought to play football indoors. They ought to skate. I agree with him. I don't want anyone to send me any skates.
He looked pretty good on those skates.
He skated fast.
Cunningham. Tartalatasi can't find the handle. Incomplete. Andy Hedden put the pressure on.
That's the thing, Buddy Ryan didn't look, because it looked like Junior Tartalatasi was again looking upfield before he caught the ball. And you know, every receiver in his life has always been taught, catch a ball, you're going to get hit whether you catch it or not. And if you're in the middle, maybe catch it first, then do the next thing. Don't try and do both at once.
Cunningham, this time out of the spread. Yep. This is Jimmy Giles, and Giles out of bounds gets enough for a first down. A lot of people thought he couldn't play anymore, but Buddy Ryan says, hey, this guy can still run.
Buddy Ryan says he remembered him when he was at Tampa Bay and Buddy Ryan was at Chicago. He said, that guy caught too many passes on me, made too many big plays for me not to remember that that guy can help someone in this league. Told us last night, he said, I'm going to play him more today than I have since he's come here.
Here's Cunningham. Out of the pocket he goes. Chased by Taylor and down by Lawrence Taylor. 3rd sack.
I'll tell you on that one, he was trying to go to Giles again, but Giles was double teamed, and he couldn't get there. He had an inside-outside by Kennard and Hill.
Clock running, just over a minute left to play in the first half. Cunningham steps to his left, has a lot of time, and goes deep for Jackson. Incomplete. He can throw it a long way.
Look at that. There's 12 men in the field. They were going around and pass protected and trying to get guys open, and that squirrel just ran right across the field.
That squirrel's got some great moves.
He's looking for a tree.
No acorns in here.
Right behind the security.
He knew where he wanted to go.
He said, it's halftime. Let's go inside. Cunningham was going back one way, and the squirrel looked like he was rushing him.
Cunningham to Tartalatasi. Again, it's dropped, but a flag on the play.
That's in the area of offensive holding.
Joe Conwell limping. The Eagle offensive tackle headed for the sideline.
Number 70 offense, 79 offense. Penalty refused. 4th down.
So Joe Conwell got that and everybody. He got blood on the right thigh. He's limping on the right leg, and he got held for holding. Called for holding. That's a triple dipper.
That's not one you want to remember, is it? Telchik back to punt. The Giants look like they're coming after it. McConkey at his own 31. By William Frizzell. It's Conwell over on the sideline. 40-yard punt by Telchik, the return of 9. Clock stopped now with 37 seconds left to play in the first half. Giants will have it 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line. They have all of their timeouts remaining. Out of bounds in the direction of Tony Galbraith. Reggie White was one of the Eagle rushers, along with Mike Golick.
Yeah, I've just had the feeling that one thing that the Giants haven't run this year the way they did last year in their Super Bowl year. And then when they haven't run, then because they can't run, they can't really get their passing together. And then you add the injuries, and the whole thing just seems to compile on them.
Just doesn't look like the same team. Sims intended for Lionel Manuel. Remember, he's playing with a cast on his hand. Sims limping just a little bit.
Lionel Manuel's been playing with a cast on his hand for 3 or 4 weeks, and I thought he'd been catching the ball better with that cast on. You know, it's a soft type cast. He tried a number of them, and nothing worked. And during the strike, he found this soft cast. And you can see it there on his left hand, and it seems to make it better. And I think it makes you concentrate more, and he's been making some unbelievable catches with that cast in his hand.
Been sort of cradling the ball. That one was high, and he had to reach up and take it entirely in his hands, and he just couldn't manage it. Giants take a timeout. They have 2 left.
Here, we'll just look at that one. I mean, he was open, and maybe that's the one that he can't handle. As you said, when it's down lower, then he can use his body. But when it gets up above his head, now there's no body that you can put in there. It's all hands.
3rd down and 10. Sims back in the shotgun. Pass is picked off by Terry Hogue, and the Eagles will have it in Giant territory. Lionel Manuel, the intended receiver again.
Terry Hogue is a free safety of the Eagles, and he's one of those guys who's a very smart player. So he knows, okay, they tried to get the ball inside to Manuel. I'm going to look for it this time. And when he makes that inside move, I'm going to jump in front of him and cut him off. And that's exactly what Hogue did. Terry Hogue is one of Buddy Ryan's favorite players. He picked him up on waivers from New Orleans. He said, there's no way this guy should be on waivers.
Here's Cunningham as the Eagles go to work quickly. Over the head of Jimmy Giles and incomplete. He's covered by Greg Lasker. 15 seconds left to play in the first half. 7-3 Giants lead.
Well, the Eagles still have a timeout, so what they have to do is what they're trying to do is to pick up about 20 yards here. Get that completion, then they can go for a field goal.
They have lost Mike Quick. He injured his right shoulder. We still haven't heard as yet how serious it is, but he hasn't come back yet. Garrity is split wide to the left. Giles, and over his head and out of bounds. Down to 10 seconds remaining.
I think Cunningham does have that one problem, is that he looks at a guy and he tries to get to him.
There was a penalty on the last play. Call against Eric Howard. That might give him a little breathing room.
We'll give him a little breathing room, but I don't think that it'll put him in field goal range yet. And I think they're still going to need... Wait a minute, they're getting closer to it. Yeah, that does put him in field goal range. Oh, now they're bringing it back. Now it takes them out of field goal range. They marked it up there where they would have been, and then they brought it back. Right now, it'd be a 54-yard field goal.
He'd have the wind at his back. See what he did.
Well, there's Eric Howard, and he's in the middle there. And it looked like he hit him with the right, then he hits him with the left there. That left head slap has to be it. I don't know about that one, though. I think they're talking the instant replay where to mark the ball.
Gene Barth, the referee.
I don't think the confusion is whether it was a penalty or not, because they can't change that, but it's where to mark it. See, and they're marking it up 5 more.
And now they're in field goal range. It would be 50 yards. But with the wind as it is, he can get it there. 10 seconds remaining in the first half. They have 1 timeout left. Gets it out to Tartalatasi, who again can't hang on. That's 3 times that's happened. Andy Hedden on the coverage.
So now the Eagles do have a shot at the field goal, and that penalty was right because they were on the 47-yard line, and then they moved it to the 32-yard line.
And Telchik will hold just inside the 40. They'll call it 49 yards. Closer to 50. That's going to get there. And that's good. Officially 49 yards for McFadden. And the Eagles cut the Giant lead to just a point. 7-6 as they head for the locker room. Buddy Ryan's Eagles and the Giants. And Bill Parcells. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Giants 7 and the Eagles 6. By Dorsey. One of the up men in the wedge. He gets it out to the 38-yard line. A return of 13.
You know, that had to be an interesting decision there, why the Eagles kicked into the wind, because the Giants kicked off in the first half, so that means that the Eagles got the ball. Then in the second half, they had a kick, so you can take your decision which way to kick, and they kicked into the wind.
Sims said something's wrong with the ball, and they back away.
That used to be a big deal. Remember in the days of Stickum, they'd always get up there and they'd find some Stickum on the ball. Now that Stickum is illegal, I don't know what they found on the ball.
Sims back to throw on first down and chased out of the pocket. Gets the screen pass off to Adams. Second time that's worked. Adams gets into Eagle territory. Stopped by Terry Hogue. Gain of 20.
He got two good blocks out there. One was by Ard, and the other one is by Mark Bavaro. Watch, they play fake to the right, then they come back and throw the screen to the left. Watch, there's Ard. He makes a block on Cobb right there. Bavaro got the block that didn't allow someone else to get across, and he got the big play. Watch, here's Bavaro. He just gets that little bump right there that holds the linebacker off.
They come back quickly to Morris behind Carthon. Ken Clark, the nose tackle, stopped him for no gain. He might have gotten a half a yard. Reggie White with an assist.
Well, I would think, we talked about at halftime how neither team, other than penalties, has made a third down conversion. So now, of course, one thing you want to talk at halftime is what you're going to do when you get to third down. The other thing you want to talk about is more success on first and second down, so you don't have a lot of third down.
2nd and 10 right now. Sims back into the pocket. Incomplete. Actually complete, but he was out of bounds. He did hang on. Stephen Baker.
Now this is being interesting down to see if you can get that 3rd and 10 situation, get that long yardage situation, and pick up a first down. See, the Eagles put in their 6 defensive backs. The Giants, of course, have their 3 wide receivers in.
Ingram comes in to join Manuel and Baker. Sims has the time. Throws over the head of Manuel. Incomplete. And Landeta will come onto the scene.
Hey, what we're going to see now is the defense start getting up on 3rd down now.
The Eagles were a man short. Landeta aiming for the corner, aiming away from the punt returner, and gets it out of bounds inside or right at the 10-yard line. 32-yard punt out of bounds at the 10. The Eagles will start from there, trailing by 1. We're in the opening minutes of quarter number 3. The Eagles 1st and 10 at their own 10. Mike Quick, the information we got on him is that he has a bruised right shoulder. And that's about all we know at the moment. Haddix straight ahead. Pickup of 2. Harry Carson made the stop.
Yeah, if we look at Randall Cunningham's passing and the distance he threw, you see he was 8 for 12, 83 yards, under 10 yards. Now that means where he threw the ball under 10, then they ran for more. And over 10 yards, he didn't have a completion. And in fact, over 20, between 20 and 30 and 30 and 40, he didn't even throw one in that area in the first half.
Mike Quick is back on the sideline, and that certainly is encouraging. Here's the draw play to Anthony Toney, and there's nothing there. Another gain of 2. Kenny Hill up quick to make the stop. Speaking of quick.
This is interesting that the Eagles decided to go against the wind in the 3rd quarter. I guess what they'd like to do is play defense, and keep the score close and then have the wind in the 4th quarter.
It brings up a 3rd and 6 situation. Lawrence Taylor in the game. He played as a down lineman in the first half. And he gets down again at left defensive end. Pass incomplete. No flags. And the Eagles get nothing in 3 downs intended for Chris Carter. And they'll have to punt. Into the wind.
And the game goes on with neither team making a 3rd down conversion. That's amazing.
7-6. Giants over the Eagles. Telchik standing about a yard deep in the end zone. McConkey right at midfield. Low snap. Telchik does a good job to get it away and gets away a fine punt. McConkey retreats to his 44. Straight ahead into Eagle territory to the 37. 42-yard punt by Telchik, but a 19-yard return by Phil McConkey. 7-6 Giants. Tackle for the Giants in last year's Super Bowl, Carl Nelson, who is suffering from Hodgkin's disease, but from all reports we've heard, the news is good. The recovery should be complete.
Well, he's had his last radiation treatment, and now they're thinking about going in and doing the operation on their shoulder.
Nothing doing. Adams, the ball carrier, no gain. Reggie White. They tried to run That very familiar Redskin play called counter tray, but nothing developed. Carl Banks over underneath that towel on the sideline. With the wind chill factor, when the game began, they said it should feel like it's 20 degrees, and it is cold on the field.
You know, when we were out there at practice yesterday down there in the sideline, it felt like 20 degrees.
There's Sims back to throw. Back to Bavaro up the middle. And Bavaro fumbled. And the scramble goes on. Roussan comes sliding in, and I think he got it. Now the Eagles are claiming they got it, and they did. Bavaro was inside the 5. Andre Waters, I believe, came up with it. And they're still scrambling over it.
Hey, we're going to see Bavaro again running that seam pattern. He gets right by the linebacker. Joyner has to cover him, so he's running underneath. He beats Joyner, has the ball away in his left arm. It's stripped from behind. Now watch Roussan, 22. He comes diving in, but the Eagles got it.
I think that's the longest I've ever seen a fumble unattended.
Roussan took a dive about 10 yards away from it and slid into it.
The Eagles take over at their own 3-yard line. Haddix nudges it out to about the 9, a pickup of 6 yards. George Martin on the stop.
You know what Bavaro's thinking? That's the toughest one. The toughest fumble is when the guy gets you from behind, because you see things in front of you and you're aware that guy's coming in from the side. But when that guy comes in from behind, boom, and knocks that thing out of that, you're not aware of that one. And that's the way most fumbles come in the open field.
And that is really a helpless feeling when you're on the bottom of the pile. You fumble and you can't do anything about it. Anthony Toney cut down just outside the 10 by Banks. Penalty marker, I believe, on the play.
Penalty marker against the Giants.
Banks
Number
really
58
upset.
defense lined up in a neutral zone. 5-yard penalty and makes it a first down.
Another penalty, first down.
You have to say the way Carl Banks is reacting there, that he didn't believe that he lined up in the neutral zone. The neutral zone is the length of the football. You have to be on your side of the ball.
Lawrence Taylor is now back playing linebacker. Hedden is out. Taylor's at his old spot. Haddix, and nothing there for him. Mark Collins, Harry Carson.
I'll tell you, I don't know that that's the thing you wanted to do. When Banks gets a penalty, now watch him, number 58, then you run right at him, you're going to get a fired up guy. He's going to take on guards, he's going to go by tackles, and he's going to tackle that ball carrier for a loss. Carl Banks is one of the best linebackers in the National Football League.
Crowd coming to life a little bit now. The chant of defense, second down and 10, and Cunningham back to throw. Gets it up the middle to Giles. Giles. Pepper Johnson was the first man there. Mark Collins the second. Gain of 6.
You know, it looked like after Mike Quick got hurt that they put in Jimmy Giles, and Giles has become the guy that they're trying to get the ball to. Of course, before that, Mike Quick had been the guy. He had 8 touchdown passes already this year, and he had been Cunningham's favorite receiver. He's back there now, but when he was out, Giles became the favorite receiver.
Giles just came out. Anthony Toney just went back in. They're going to have to hurry. They do get it off in time. Incomplete. Intended for Mike Quick. It's amazing. After he got that shoulder injured in the first half, I didn't think there was any way he'd be back.
You know, that's the advantage of having those x-ray machines right now in the stadium. They took Mike Quick in, they x-rayed his shoulder and found out that it was only a bruise. But you see on that play, he couldn't move his right arm. He just reached out with his left hand.
Helchick back to punt. Line drive again to McConkey, who fields it at breaks out of the pack. McConkey has to beat the punter. Out of bounds inside the Eagle 20. 28-yard kick. McConkey brought it back 31 yards.
Bill McConkey really hasn't been making the contribution to the Giants this year that he made last year, but this has to be his biggest return of the year. He makes a couple of guys miss early. Then once you do that, you break through. The next thing you have is a punter.
He got a solid block from Moa. Here's Morris. Looking to get around the corner. Here comes the flag again. Morris got 3. Andre Waters came up to make the stop. But the penalty marker will quiet things down.
Illegal use of the hands, number 96 defense. A push to the face, 5 yards from the end of the run, and a first down.
Clyde Simmons.
You know, that's the second one of those that Clyde Simmons had today. Remember, he had one in the first half. That same thing, that hand to the face. Then that's his second one, and it was down in the same area, I think.
First down, Giants right at the 10. They've got the full 10 to go. It's 1st and 10 at the 10 and 1st and goal from the 10. Rousson and Maurice Carthon are the 2 backs. Sims looking. He usually looks for Bavaro. He does again. He throws this one finally away. Pressure from Mike Golick. Now flag again on that play.
Holding defense, number 43. 5-yard penalty and a first down.
That's Roynell Young up there on Lionel Manuel. And again, the holding has to be right there. He got his right arm in. That has to be before the ball was thrown. So that's an automatic first down for the Giants on the 5-yard line.
1st and goal from there as Buddy Ryan looks on. The Giants lead it 7-6. 8 minutes left, 3rd quarter. Morris now back in as the runner. Handoff is to Morris. Stopped by Clyde Simmons. Fell forward for a yard, maybe.
Clyde Simmons got the penetration on that one, and he got in the backfield before Joe Morris could get started. Watch him here. He's going to start. He's right here. And watch him get the penetration. He's starting there in that left-handed stance. He takes an inside move, beats Brad Benson to the inside. And then he's in the backfield before Morris can get to the line of scrimmage.
Eagles get their substitutions in at the last second. And they finally get aligned as Sims gives to Morris. Morris bounces to the 1. Almost got in. Picked up 3. He went under everybody.
That's the 2 ways you can go when you get down there in that goal line. You can either dive over, try and go over the top, or just go get down and get underneath everyone and drive those legs and get underneath. And when there's no white jerseys here, you can almost get it to the end zone.
Again, a yellow flag on the play, a penalty.
I thought the Eagles had 12 guys on the field.
They had a lot of confusion right at the end. I know that.
Defense had 12 men on the field during the last play.
Here it is. Here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12 guys. They caught him.
And he still almost scored.
Well, I think the extra guy was over on the other side. That's what, you know, Buddy Ryan has more defenses than anyone in the league. He has as many as 20 coverages, and that one there is just a new wrinkle. The old goal line 12-man guys.
It's great if you can get away with it.
Or if you have that extra guy where they're going to run.
Oh, get away from the
That's the Carthon, and I don't think he got in. Mike Reichenbach on the bottom of of the pile. No, he didn't.
I thought Joe Morris got it down closer than that. I guess they did, but they must have turned down the penalty, right? So it's the same distance.
Carthon got nothing here.
Well, the offensive line got nothing. The defense won that battle. Look at all those white jerseys.
Injured Eagle is Mike Reichenbach, who made the play. He made the hit on Maurice Carthon. While we wait, reminder again, it begins with the NFL today, next Sunday at 12:30 Eastern Time. John Madden and I will be at RFK Stadium in Washington. Game 2 of the doubleheader, the Giants at St. Louis, Atlanta and the Rams, and Detroit against Tampa Bay. Check your local listings. That's next Sunday here on CBS. Reichenbach is still down.
Look at that, Pat. The Giants only have 2 rushing TDs. That's the fewest in the NFL. What happened on Joe Morris's run, they got close, but instead of being 3rd and 1, they took the penalty, and that made it 2nd and 2. So it looked like they were down there closer, and then they got farther away. Now they have to do it again, and they've only done it 2 times all year.
And now it's 3rd and 2. George Adams looking on.
You know, I think this is a situation where you use that play pass. They have one where they're going to, you know, fake the run in there and then come out and throw to the tight end, Bavaro, and I bet that's what they're coming up with.
3rd down, they're at the 2-yard line. They still have no 3rd down conversions. Neither team.
You know, 2 yards when you're on the goal line is close to long yardage. I mean, a yard, okay, a half yard, that's really short yardage. But when you're down there 2 yards, that's a long way to go. And that's the time, that's a perfect time for that play fake.
Mike Reichenbach coming off. He's sort of the man who keeps that Eagle defense together.
Well, he's the quarterback. You know, he does the same thing for the Eagles that Mike Singletary does for the Bears. But I could see here that play where they fake it to Joe Morris and then try and get Mark Bavaro across, huh?
Bavaro is lined up as the tight end on the right side with Moat behind him. Moat moves in motion. There's the play you were talking about. Incomplete, but here come the flags again. Maurice Carthon was the intended receiver. He got tangled up with an Eagle defender in the end zone.
Defensive pass interference, number 20. First down on the 1-yard line.
Andre Waters.
Of course, and that's an automatic first down. So you can see it right there. He just knocked the receiver down before he got there. The guy he really wanted to throw to was Mark Bavaro here. But watch what happens to him as he goes inside. See, Clark, number 71, just hit him with an elbow and didn't let him through.
Adams is the ball carrier this time, trying to get in, and still doesn't. No gain. That'll bring up a 2nd and goal from the 1.
I would think it's about time to give it to Joe Morris. You know, he got it. Well, in fact, they're bringing him in right now because he got it the closest. Those other guys didn't get as close as he did. The play pass got stuffed. The run to Adams got stuffed. I'd just come back and just give it on that dive to Morris.
The book on Morris today. They give it to Morris. He is cut down short of the goal line. Seth Joyner for a loss on the play.
This is a tough thing when you come across the backfield. You know, they have that other short yardage where he just dives in there. But you see Godfrey is pulling out there. Adams is leading through. And it was okay there, but he really got it from the backside. Seth Joyner sneaked in behind all those blockers.
3rd and goal from the 2 now. And they again give to Morris. And he slips down at about the 4. Gary Cobb made sure he stayed down. They lose another yard, and on comes Raul Alegre.
The Giant fans are booing in confidence at the goal line. I mean, they had so many shots, you have to get it in there.
Nothing they did work.
Well, and you see here, you know, Joe Morris only has 1 touchdown this year. This last year he had 14, the year before 21.
Rudnick is holding. Allegre's kick is perfect. They settle for the field goal. It's 10-6 now. The Giants lead with 4:47 left in the third quarter. Left to play in the third quarter. Allegre set to kick it off. Bobby Morse and Chris Carter back deep for the Eagles. It's going to be Carter at the 1. Hit it about the 15. Down in a hurry was Adrian White.
Let's watch that third down play again. Adams is going to come out here and miss Cobb, and Morris is going to come out here and trip himself right here before Cobb gets here. Everything that can go wrong for the Giants does go wrong. Watch Adams. He's leading. He's going to come out there at number 50. He goes right above him, and just before that, Morris tripped himself. And all the white jerseys got there. See Morris trying to make a cut. He's 1 foot in the other.
He had 5 shots inside the 10. Cunningham comes out of the pocket. Intended for Tony, who was running directly away from him and had no chance. Now, for an NFL update again, let's take you back to New York studios and Brent Musburger.
Pat, it's uphill now for the Dallas Cowboys. Atlanta quarterback Scott Campbell keeps it, sneaks in from 1 yard out. It is now 21-10. This game, remember, is being played in Dallas. Hard to believe. Let's go back to Pat and John.
10-6. The Giants over the Eagles. Just over 4.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Randall Cunningham, strangely enough, has only run twice all day to pick up 6 yards. He fakes the draw, gets it upfield, intended for Giles behind him, way behind him.
It's funny, it looked like neither one of these offenses practiced this week, because both of them look like they're out of sync. I mean, there hasn't been a third down conversion yet. The Giants get down there and they have all those opportunities. They can't get it in. The receiver goes one way, the ball goes behind him. Looks like they took off and the defense has just practiced or something.
3rd and 10. Marshall after Cunningham and got him. And he did, on the way to the passer, what you call a full spinner. He spun it inside.
That's the way to rush him. You start out here, you come in here and do a spin, and then you end up with a quarterback. It looked like Marshall understood, though, what he was going to do. Watch, he starts the spin, he comes inside. Now Cunningham starts his own spin. Marshall said, I've already done that.
Kelsey out of the end zone. To McConkey, who fields it at the Eagle 35. To the 33. Kai Howard was the first man down. A 31-yard punt by Telchik.
There's 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter, and this has to be a big drive for both teams. Because the Giants, if they're going to take advantage of the win, they have to get one in here. And the Eagles, again, if their defense can hold them off, then they have to win the rest of the game.
It's 10-6 with 4:07 left in the third quarter. The Giants have camped in Eagle territory.
You know, that last drive the Giants had, they had 4 penalties from the Eagles on that drive.
And then they had 5 shots inside the 10. And came away with a 20-yard field goal. Here's Sim. For Stephen Baker. Incomplete. And no flags. Giselle and Andre Waters back on the coverage.
You know, I would have to think that the wind down there is doing some strange thing to the ball. I mean, I think you can say that the quarterback isn't in sync or the receivers, but I think just the way it's looking, where the guys are going one way and the ball's going the other way, that some of the credit has to go to the wind, or discredit.
If anything, it's blowing harder now than it was when the game began. It was 18 miles an hour out of northwest then. Adams is now behind Sims. Baker, and this time he ain't gone. And that'll be enough for a first down. Roynell Young, 10 yards, maybe a little bit more.
See, right here, Sims is just going to go back. He has good pass protection here. See where he can look, find Baker. He has room to step up and follow through. I'll tell you, the passing game, the toughest thing for the passing game on any level is a windy day. I mean, you can throw it in rain if the ball's dry and in snow and everything else, but the toughest thing to throw in is wind.
Some guys just despise it. I remember the Super Bowl between the Raiders and the Redskins in Tampa when the wind was blowing, and Joe Theismann came out and took one look at it, and it almost just destroyed his game for that day, just thinking about it.
I remember in child psychology, the toughest weather to concentrate in is windy. Windy weather, elementary school kids can't concentrate, and I think that goes all the way up through everyone.
Sims falls down. It was 3rd and short. Jerome Brown made the penetration, and Sims had a bad left knee, and now he has it back again.
That's the same one that he hurt. Remember when Jim Jeffcoat of the Dallas Cowboys hit that knee the same way? That put Phil Sims out for 3 weeks. It looks like the same type of thing. Jerome Brown looked like he just came up right up the middle and hit Sims on that left leg. Watch him, 99, right up the middle. He's down on the ground. He did. He hit him the same way Jim Jeffcoat hit him in the Dallas Cowboy game.
Almost exactly.
We will take another look at it. Jerome Brown looked like he was getting penetration. Then he goes down to the ground. Now watch, he is just grabbing it. He just gets that foot and ankle. And the only thing that can go is the joint.
And it was tender to begin with. And Sims remains down. Rutledge loosening up. We'll see him in a moment. Now let's go again to Brent Musburger in New York.
Pat, the up and down fortunes of quarterbacks, son. One is down in your game. Meanwhile, one is up in this one. Jay Schrader on a quarterback draw. Watch this, folks. I mean, with emphasis. And he'll try to bully rag him over there, too, after he got that touchdown. 17 all, Skins in St. Louis. Let's all hope that Phil is all right. Let's go back to Pat.
Well, Phil Sims still being attended to.
Phil Sims had such a great year last year, and it just seemed like every week he got better, going all the way to the Super Bowl when he played one of the greatest games by a quarterback that I've ever seen.
The MVP. They had it very 3rd and very short. And now it's 4th and 6 back at the 29, and Allegre will come on with Rutledge holding. Sims walking off in better shape than I thought he would when he first went down. Yards out. Plenty of distance and good. Allegre has hit his last 6 field goals in a row. The Giants lead 13-6 with 3:08 left in the 3rd. Phil Sims was up and jogging around over on the Giants sideline, now conferring with Bill Parcells. I'm sure he wants to come back and play some more. Parcells, I think, just gave him a wave off. Rutledge continues to warm up. There's Allegre. To Chris Carter at the 1. He's got a little room this time. Taken down by Greg Lasker at the 36. 34-yard punt. Kickoff return by Carter.
Yeah, as you look at that score by quarters, Pat, you see that all the scoring has been done with the wind. And that's probably, again, why the Eagles decided to have the win in the fourth quarter, get some scores in there and win the game.
They'll have the win, as John said, at their back when this quarter expires. Just under 3 minutes left. That's Anthony Toney hit before he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Dorsey made the stop. Next Saturday, don't forget the season premiere of basketball here on CBS, starting live at 1:30 Eastern. NCAA coverage begins with 14th ranked Louisville against number 2 Kentucky. After that, the Houston Rockets face Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Next weekend, the season premiere of basketball here on CBS. 2nd and 10. 2:20 left to play in the third quarter. Anthony Toney left side. Pepper Johnson made the stop after a gain of 6. Sims back over on the sideline, loosening up, testing that left knee.
Looks like he's loosening up to go back in too, Pat. I think sometimes once you've had a knee and you get something, it scares you at first. You think, uh-oh, there it is again. And then when you get up, you test it and say, it's okay, that wasn't it.
He still looks like it's a little tender. 3rd and 4.5. Philadelphia 0 for 9 in third down conversions. 0 for 10 make it. Michael Haddock's the ball carrier. No gain. Lawrence Taylor made the stop.
It's interesting that Lawrence Taylor was in on that whole series. You know, earlier he had been coming in on third down. Here he is right here as a down lineman again, but he was in on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down. I'll tell you, either Lawrence Taylor talked Bill Parcells into that one, or Bill Parcells said, hey, let's win this game. You go on in there.
He's the kind of guy who can light a fire, and not under himself, but everybody else as well. Belichick's kick is not very good. McConkey slips down, and the Eagles are down at Terry Hogue. 31-yard kick. Teterboro Airport is not far from Giant Stadium, and the weather conditions at Teterboro, 40 degrees. The wind chill on the field here, 22 degrees. The wind west at 22 miles an hour. And it certainly has been a factor, and Phil Simms is back.
You know, that's the wind up above. Look at that bird. He doesn't even have to flap his wings. He was going 40 miles an hour. I just saw him. Then down here, it goes the other way. I don't know.
There's Simms back to throw. The Eagles hit him just as he lets it go. Deep for Bavaro, and flags come flying from every direction. Gary Cobb was back with Bavaro. Simms took a hit just as he released the ball, and Bavaro got tangled up with Cobb.
They're both arguing whether it was offensive pass interference or defensive pass interference. Usually when the official stays there, it's defensive pass interference.
50 defense, first down, pass interference.
I'm a little surprised that the linebackers have been keeping a linebacker on Bavaro all day. You know, of course, they're going to give him some help somewhere. You see Simms get rid of the ball. You see Cobb covering Bavaro, and then he wasn't looking for the ball. See, that's why they got him. He wasn't looking for the ball. He just ran right into him and knocked him down.
So it makes it first down, Giants at the Eagle 32. Simms back to throw again. Shuffles it out to Maurice Carthon. Carthon inside the 25 for a gain of 9. Reichenbach made the stop. Penalties in this half alone, including that one against Bavaro, against Cobb. 5 for 52 yards in this half. And the Giants call a timeout. Lawrence Taylor and Carl Banks to his right. Atlanta still leading Dallas. Washington is going ahead of St. Louis now, 24-17. Bring up a 2nd and 2. Houston surprising San Diego.
it's an interesting thing here, and the reason the Giants took a timeout here in the third quarter is with only 36 seconds, they want another shot with the win. So if you take a timeout, now you have to pass, because if they run, it doesn't make any sense to take the timeout. So I'm sure that they wanted to pass and come up with a good last win pass. This is a win pass.
36 seconds remaining in the third quarter. The Giants leading Philadelphia 13-6. Second down and 2. Here's Sims back. To Morris inside the 20. That'll be a first down. Gary Cobb. That wasn't the pass that they had in mind, I don't think.
I wouldn't think so. They had Mark Bavaro down in the end zone, and I think that's the pass had to be designed to get to Bavaro in the end zone.
Out of it in a hurry and ready to go quickly.
There's Bavaro. You see the pattern he was running on the corner, so they weren't trying to get him deep.
Here's Sims back to throw. People around his feet. And Sims just unloads. Reggie White was the man who had him by the ankles. Seconds remain third quarter.
Look at this one. Had he had time, he did have Bavaro, because the defensive back covering him fell down.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score. The Giants 13, the Eagles 6. We now pause for a word from your local station. And one more quarter to go. Leroy Son is split wide to the left, and Adams is the lone back behind Sims. One more quarter to go. Second and 18. Outside Bavaro from Sims. He gets inside the 20. A gain of 10. Andre Waters knocked him out of bounds.
The reason it was second and 18, of course, that last pass in the third quarter that Sims thrown, he was in the grasp there, so they didn't call it an incomplete pass.
That'll give you an idea of the degree of difficulty with and against the wind.
And you can see why the Giants took the timeout and wanted to get a couple more plays with the wind.
Third and 7. Eagles on the blitz. Sims comes out of the pocket. Baker, touchdown. The first third down conversion of the game, and it's a touchdown from Sims to Baker.
And Phil Sims was going, you know why? Because Roynell Young had that thing, and he ran right by it. Roynell Young, the defender, misjudged the ball.
Allegre's extra point is good. And it's 20-6 Giants.
But Stephen Baker, he's out here on the outside being man-to-man covered by number 43, Roynell Young. Now watch as they go in here. Roynell Young, he sees the ball. Now he runs right by it. And the ball is behind Baker. I tell you, he had good coverage. Roynell Young was there. Watch Sims. He looks him off. He looks the safety off. Looks left, bounces out to the right, buys a little time, sees Baker. Roynell Young sees it. Whoa. Thanks to the... Boy, we were lucky on that one.
I think the wind had an effect on that pass as well. 5 plays, they went 71 yards. 16-yard touchdown pass to Stephen Baker. Allegre, line drive kick. Well, for a while, lateral back to Morris. Ken Reeves, that lateral back.
You see that? Ken Reeves is an offensive lineman. He didn't want that ball. This has been one of the Eagles' problems today is on first down, they've only averaged 1.1 yards. So then that means you have second and long and third and long. Then when you take 1.1 and then on the other end, no third down conversions, that's a long day offensively.
That's why you have no touchdowns.
It's an air ball.
Taylor from Cunningham intended for Anthony Toney as Taylor put the pressure on Cunningham.
That was good pressure. They're going to have good pressure here on Randall Cunningham, but he steps up. Then they have good coverage deep. Watch Lawrence Taylor here. He's just going on Baker. They put the rush on him. And then as he throws it, watch a convergence. A defensive back on both sides of Toney.
That makes it 2nd and 10. Eagle ball at their own 33. Cunningham back to throw again. Screen pass. Taylor is right out there with Toney. He breaks a couple of tackles, but still loses yardage. 3, in fact.
Lawrence Taylor read that one all the way, and he looked like Roynell Young. He read Toney, he had Toney, then he ran by him. Watch Taylor. He's a guy who can do everything. And when you talk about great players in the history of the game, you're seeing one here in 56. Watch him. He sees Toney, runs right down the line, runs beyond him, but forces him into a bunch of other blue jerseys. In fact, one stuck a leg out there and got a trip.
3rd and 13. Flushed out by Taylor Marshall. Pass incomplete. He had to come out and couldn't find anybody. However, there's a flag on the play, but it's going to be against Philadelphia.
Tell you one thing, the Giants have done a good job at containing Cunningham.
Number 83 offense, interference, penalty refused, 4th down.
83's Jimmy Giles. Telchik will come in to punt. McConkey back deep for the Giants at his own 20.
Bonky's having a big day.
Been busy. This is a good punt. He feels it at the 30. Gets around the corner. Gets a block, but there's already a penalty marker down. And now another one. 2 flags on that play.
In fact, there's 3 flags. There's 2 flags down there in the same spot on the 35-yard line. They're going to call this one back. Because there's 2 flags down there, 1 flag up here. Legal man downfield.
Illegal block above the waist.
That's always a good one for the kicking game.
We've got offsetting fouls. We're going to replay the down. Number 97 of the kicking team was illegally downfield. We got a low block on the receiving team on the return, number 37. Replay the down.
Pretty good announcement. McConkey comes back in. Officials bring everything back and regather the flags, and we'll do the whole thing over.
This is one area that both of these teams, both the Eagles and the Giants, have not been satisfied with their special teams play. Although I think punt returners like windy days.
Punters don't. Same kind of kick, a good one by Telchik. A little less of a return by McConkey. Ty Allard down to make the stop after a 45-yard punt. 13-17 left to play. The Giants up 20-6.
Me, Pat, is the way that they contain him, because I think the lack of passing is part frustration and part wind and part defense. But the fact that because of that Cunningham hasn't been able to dart or gain more yards, that kind of surprises me about these first 3 quarters.
6 yards is all he has. At the 30, the Giants take it over, 1st and 10. 13-17 left to play. New York Giants leading 20-6. Sims on the draw play to Adams. Cut down behind the line of scrimmage by Reggie White. Perhaps a loss of a couple.
You know, there's a guy now that everyone in the league, you talk around the league, who's the best defensive lineman? Every coach you talk to talks about Reggie White. I think when you talk about linebackers, everyone will say Lawrence Taylor, defensive lineman. It's this guy right here, Reggie White. I mean, what a package. A guy 290 pounds and runs like a 40 and 4.6.
6'5". Second down. Sims gets it up to Bavaro. Bavaro gets to the 45 and picks up another Giant first down. Andre Waters brought him down, a gain of 15.
Yeah, those are the couple of things Bavaro can do, is watch him how quickly he gets off the line of scrimmage. He takes an inside release from the tackle, then he's off the line of scrimmage into the secondary by Gary Cobb, and the only guy there is Andre Waters. If Waters doesn't make that tackle, that's a big, big gain. That was an interesting release, though, where the tight end steps back and goes inside the offensive tackle.
First and 10 Giants at their own 45. Handoff is to Adams. He gained 4. Where he's brought down by Mike Golick.
You see that? I'll tell you, Bavaro and Cobb are really going at it over there.
There's a kicker. Foot warmer, Allegre. There's a game here. Second and 7. Adams again, left side. Maybe a yard. Jerome Brown on the bottom of the pile, along with Clyde Simmons. Right at midfield. 20-6 Giants. The clock just over 11 minutes left to play. 3rd and 5. Giant record is 3-8. The Eagles 5-6. 1 third down conversion for the Giants, none for the Eagles. Sims out of the pocket. Odessa Turner to the 20. Terry Hogue finally brought him down. A gain of 30.
That was an interesting pattern. You know, that's why you like these big wide receivers. But I'll tell you, an interesting thing happened. Turner is going to start here. He comes here. Bavaro is a tight end. He comes here. They run into each other. Big crack up. Then Turner ends up coming out of the pile. But watch him here. When Bavaro starts here, he's going to start inside. Watch Turner starts across. Now watch right there. The whole bunch of them right there. There's a big pile up. Now Turner comes here. He comes running out free. Sims sees a big play.
30-yard gain, 1st and 10. Hand off to Roussan. Roussan gets barely inside the 20. Gain of 1 before Jerome Brown brings him down.
Bill Parcells is saying that's not a bad one. You have your wide receiver run across and run into your tight end and a bunch of defensive guys. And then whoever comes out open on the other side, you throw it to.
Confuse everybody.
Buddy Ryan said, what was that last pass pattern the Giants? I hadn't seen that pattern before. The guy up above's trying to tell them what they did.
9:10 left to play. The Giants up 20-6. 2nd down and 9. To Adams, and Adams gets down to about the 15 before he's stopped by Gary Cobb. Gain 4.
The one thing about this game that I always felt in coaching too, if you ever get someone's number, a team's number or a coach's number, you always keep it. And the Giants are one up. You know, Buddy Ryan came into the Eagles, and he's been able to beat every other team. He's beaten the Redskins, he's beaten the Cowboys, he's beaten the Cardinals. He hasn't beaten the Giants yet. And I think if there's anything that the Giants can get out of this season and keep it, it's that card they have up.
3rd and 5 at the 15. And off to Adams. Only a yard. Clyde Simmons tripped him up.
See Clyde Simmons down there, he looks like he's been in a battle. I mean, that's the way you're supposed to look. When you play on artificial turf, there's no dirt or mud, but at least there's some ripped cloth and stuff. Some
had a
parts
busy
coming
day.
off the body. Yeah. He's made some big plays. He's had those 2 big penalties against him, though, but he's been able to knife through and get some penetration and stop some of those runs.
Here's Allegre from 31 yards out this time. He's 2 for 2 today, 4 for 4 last week. Hit the upright and not good. And so the score remains 20-6 with 7.5 minutes left to play. Ball here on CBS. Starting with Louisville against Kentucky, live at 1:30 Eastern Time, followed by the season premiere of the NBA on CBS. The Rockets against the Chicago Bulls. Both very entertaining teams this year. 1st and 10, Philadelphia at their own 20. 7:33 left to play. Giants leading 20-6. Rollout. Pass intended for Greg Garrity, incomplete.
You know, as we look here at what Randall Cunningham, when he's come out of the pocket, I've always felt that's the thing that he does best. You know, he went out of the pocket 4 times to the left, only 1 time to the right. I think when he goes out to the left, he throws the best. You can see he's 3 for 24 yards, 1 for 4 passing. And that's not a big day for Randall Cunningham.
It's been a tough day for passers, although Sims has 2 touchdown passes. Cunningham back. Outside Anthony Tony. Tony out of bounds, short of the 1st down. Gain of 8.
But I've always felt that that's when he's best, when either they organize it and he comes out or he has to scramble. And I've always thought he's better when he has to scramble and comes out left and throws, because he has that natural thing of running left and turning and whipping the ball. Of course, this guy had a big deal to do with it too here, Leonard Marshall, of keeping him contained so that he couldn't get out to the left, which is Marshall's side.
Cunningham in the 2nd half is only 3 out of 9 for 11 yards. Fakes the handoff. Tassi, the intended receiver, incomplete again.
I think there's a flag down there, but it looks like it's going to be against the Eagles anyway. That's why Randall Cunningham kept walking.
Holding, 26 offense, penalty refused, 4th down.
Against Haddix, they refused the penalty, so it brings up a 4th. The comparison of the 2 punters today and the wind really is a big factor in that. 34.4 average for Telford. McConkey in the corner and out of bounds. And for once, no flags. 46-yard punt by Telford. 13 yards on the return by McConkey. Eagles 6. In the 4th quarter, with 7 minutes and 8 seconds remaining, Giants have the ball at their own 39. Phil Simms had to leave briefly after it appeared he had really re-injured his tender knee, but after a little bit of exercise and a little time, he came back. Joe Morris. 2 yards. Gary Cobb on the stop.
He's a guy that's been all over the field today, is Gary Cobb. You know, we see him. He's making tackles on the run at him. He's making tackles in the backfield. We see him covering Mark Bavaro man-to-man 30 yards down the field. This guy's all over. He's played well today. I mean, that's a tough assignment to have to play on Mark Bavaro and bump around with him all day and then run downfield and cover him and then tackle guys.
You don't see many teams even attempt that. Sims to Morris again. And Morris hit by Reggie White. Pickup of 3.
that's one of the things that the Eagle defense does. Remember the old bear? Uh-oh, here comes some idiot running on the field. Anytime you see that, the guy runs on the field, you know that he's somewhere he doesn't belong.
Yep.
But anyway, they play that Bear defense where they put 2 linebackers on the tight end, and then they overload the middle.
Here's Bavaro inside Moat. Now he goes in motion. And now comes back to where he was to begin with. Morris gets outside the 45, picks up 3. Mike Pitts made the stop, and the Giants will have to punt. Seems like every other play in this game has been a punt.
Well, I think when you add that lack of 3rd down conversions, that's the only other thing you can do, unless they go for it on 4th down.
Bobby Morris back deep for the Eagles. Landetta back to punt for the Giants. Eagles coming after it. They might have touched it.
That's what the referee, Gene Barr, said, that the ball was tipped. Now, if the rusher tips the ball on the punter, then it can't be roughing the punter. Then it's okay to hit him. Now, what he's saying is Landetta punted the ball. The rusher's coming from the top there, that he got part of the ball, so then he could run into him.
Frizzell got part of it. There's the signal indicating he did get part of it. Cunningham is going to run and get a first down to the 49. Mark Collins tripped him up with a 14-yard scramble.
And that's the thing that I'm surprised Cunningham hasn't done more of today, because the wind doesn't affect that. So I would have to say either 1, that he doesn't see anything, or 2, that there's nothing there to see, and the Giant defense has played well.
He really hasn't been able to get anybody open.
Nor has he be able to find an open lane for himself.
Gets it up the middle, this time to Haddix. Haddix gets down to the Giant 43, a gain of 8. Harry Carson tripped him.
I'll tell you, watch number 74 here, Eric Howard. He's going to hit Cunningham just as he throws the ball. Watch him. He's working there on Ferry. He uses that arm over, gets by the running back. Now watch, just as Cunningham throws it, he hits him, and he knocks Cunningham back about 6 yards.
2nd down, Cunningham back to throw again. Chased by Marshall, intended for Giles, incomplete. He was covered by Banks.
You know, Eric Howard is probably going to be the nose tackle for now and of the future of the Giants, because Jim Burt has that bad back and will probably be out the rest of the year. In fact, we'll probably have to have back surgery. And, you know, this kid here has come along. He's not used to playing this much of the game. But hey, Jim Burt has been a guy who has done some great things for the Giants. I mean, not only on the field, but just kind of the heart and the spirit, a big part of that Giant defense.
One of the leaders, no question about it. 3rd and 2 at the 43. Cunningham gets it outside to Keith Byers, and Byers goes out of bounds, hit by Pepper Johnson. Gain of 7, however, and an Eagle first down.
Let's watch Eric Howard in there and Leonard Marshall. Hey, watch how they pass protect. They're going to double team Marshall. Then they have a single on Howard. Now he gets a pretty good push back there. He has that good move where he starts in there and then gets the arm over. But when a nose tackle gets penetration, he's going to draw a crowd. See how those backs start staying in on him?
That's the Eagles' first 3rd down conversion. Here's Cunningham. Touchdown on the rebound for Kenny Jackson. Did a great job getting both feet down in the end zone.
Being able to stay and to hold. And these are the things that the Eagles do well. This is the type of thing. See Cunningham, he starts out to the right. Jackson's running deep. Terry Kennard is there. He moves to the inside. Kennard tips the ball up in the air. Now watch Jackson. He keeps both feet in before he catches it. Has control and 2 feet in.
McFadden for the extra point. Telchik holding. It's 20-12. 3 minutes and 22 seconds remaining. High snap. They get it down, and it's good.
But that's what the Eagles have to do. They have to move Cunningham, move the ball around, get the ball deep. Of course, here, this was a great play by Terry Kennard in the coverage and getting up. But instead of knocking the ball down, he hit it, and it went up and allowed Jackson to do this. Boy, that's nice. That looks like art, where you have the ball up there and both feet inbound. Someone could make a statue out of that picture.
A little toe dance right at the end. The Eagles get their first touchdown of the day. 3:22 remaining to be played. The Giants 20, Philadelphia 13.
The Eagles have all 3 timeouts at 3:22. I don't think they would do an onside kick here, especially when they have the wind.
Been a while since the Eagles have scored here, since 1984. 5 plays. They went 65 yards, 36-yard touchdown pass from Cunningham to Jackson.
Maybe it's a squirrel.
McFadden. Knuckleball kick handled by Leroy's son. Son squirms outside the 25. 18-yard return. Don't forget, next week it begins at 12:30 Eastern Time with the NFL Today. Dallas, Washington, or Minnesota, Green Bay, the first game of the doubleheader. The Giants are at St. Louis. Atlanta plays the Rams. Detroit against Green Bay. Check your local listings. First down, Giants at their own 27. Giants have 2 timeouts remaining. The Eagles have all 3 of theirs. Couple before Ken Clark put him down.
Well, what the Giants are thinking here is they have to get some first downs, take some time off the clock, not let the Eagles get the ball back. Of course, with their lack of running game, that's been a tough thing. That's going to be tougher for them to do than to talk about.
Now under 3 minutes, the Giants will take their time. The Eagles desperately need the football with the clock running. And Carthon on 2nd and 7 are behind Sims. Joe Morris tripped up in the backfield by Jerome Brown. A couple of times he's done that. Now the Eagles want a timeout.
That's not a bad thing. We're going to see Jerome Brown here. He's just going to get the penetration. He's just going to take off when the ball snaps. He gets right into the backfield. He goes right through the guard and center, and he gets Morris before he can get to the line of scrimmage. The Giants have had trouble with that. Not only there with Brown on that play, but they also had the same thing with the outside guy with Clyde Simmons a couple of times.
And with Reggie White a couple of times.
That's one of the things that this Eagle defense does is they line up on guys and then they hit gaps. And if that tackle or guard is ever stepping away to get position, then they're going to get penetration.
We're at Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Pat Summerall, John Madden with 2 minutes and 22 seconds remaining. The Giants leading the Eagles by 7 points. Philadelphia now has 2 timeouts remaining. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New York Giants and the National Football League is prohibited. 3rd and 9. Ball up to 29. is going to throw. Comes out of the pocket and is tripped up by Ken Clark and Reggie White again. 3-yard scramble. And we'll get the 2-minute warning before they run another play. Sims again slow to get up. 2 minutes remain at Giant Stadium on a cold, blustery day. And the Giants ahead by a touchdown. Timeouts remaining. 20-13, the Giants lead. 2 touchdown passes by Phil Sims. Landeta back to punt. 2 minutes left. Morse back deep for the Eagles. Slipped down momentarily, got back up, and gets out to about the 44-yard line. Greg Lasker was the first man down. Tonight on CBS, tired of sitting in traffic jams? 60 Minutes may have the answer tonight on CBS. Then it's Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury. Then the CBS Sunday movie, A Hobo's Gathering. That's all tonight. A Hobo's Christmas. First and 10. Cunningham gets away from Hedden momentarily, and now is cut down by Pepper Johnson and out of bounds. 5th sack, if you call that a sack, by the Giants. Loss of a yard.
Well, I think that's what the Eagles have to do, though. I think they have to get back. I think they have to pass. They have the win, and they have to move Cunningham. I think it has to be moving right, moving left, running and throwing. All those things that they're noted for and that he does so well.
2nd and 11. Cunningham, flag on the play. Pass was complete to Giles, but a marker down.
I wouldn't be surprised if it were the 2 guys that were trying to block Lawrence Taylor. I think it's funny how they're playing Taylor as a down lineman. The Eagles didn't know that coming in. They didn't even know if he was going to play, but they're taking their tackle and guard, both 2 offensive linemen, to block Lawrence Taylor.
They were hoping he didn't play.
67 offense. 10-yard penalty. Will replay the 2nd down.
The holding wasn't on him, but watch Lawrence Taylor here. They're going to take the tackle and the guards, these 2 guys, and double him, and here's where they get the holding penalty on the center. But watch, you know Taylor's going to draw some action, but when you get a guard and a tackle on him, and the guy that holds was the center in the takedown, Gary Ferry.
2nd and 21. Giles goes in motion. Cunningham with the shuttle pass straight ahead. The ball's on the ground. That's just an incomplete pass.
So you watch the penetration here. It looked like he almost shuttled the ball right there to Carl Banks. Watch Carl Banks, 58. He's coming in there. He's getting blocked and almost catches the ball. Ron Baker was going to trap him, but they didn't wait for it.
Good play by Banks. 3rd down now on 21. Cunningham finds Greg Garrity. Just shy of the 1st down, a gain of 19. They still need 2. Harry Williams was the closest defender. Clock running now with 1:19. And now the Eagles take their 2nd timeout, so they have 1 left.
I think that was a smart one because with 4th down, you want to make sure that you get a good play, that you don't have to call a play on the line of scrimmage. I'll tell you, Randall Cunningham is a tough guy. He stood in there on that one and threw that ball and completed it, and Lawrence Taylor really gave him a shot.
The Giants in the 87, 4th quarter has been tough for them.
But you can see it's happened in all those games where they've had the lead and then lose the game in the fourth quarter.
4th and 2.
And I know they're thinking of that right now.
They're also thinking about containing Cunningham. He gets it to Giles, and Giles hangs on for a first down. Greg Lasker on the coverage, but a gain of 8. They move the sticks, and the clock continues to move as well. Eagles only have 1 timeout remaining. And now there's less than a minute. Cunningham stops the clock. That's that new rule we saw Phil Simms employ last week.
Well, they can do that, and what you do is you really just substitute a play for a timeout. Here's the 4th down play. This was a big play. Because, again, if they don't complete this ball, then the game's over. He's looking for Giles, sees him. Boom, he rifles that thing in there.
57 seconds remain. Byers goes in motion. Cunningham retreats. For Giles again, and he's come up with it. Giles, an Eagle touchdown. From 40 yards away.
One thing after the Eagles lost Mike Quick, the guy Cunningham has been looking for was Jimmy Giles. He looked and he looked and he came up with a touchdown.
McFadden for the extra point. Telchik holding to tie it up and send us what would appear into overtime. High snap. Good, nevertheless. Telchik did a good job to get it down.
Yeah, you wonder, you see this, you see the Eagles come back, start doing these things, touchdown passes, balls tipping off guys, and you say, why didn't they do that in the first half or in the third quarter? Yeah, but sometimes you have to be backed up against the wall. Sometimes you have to have that urgency, and they got the urgency now. You see, Kennard was coming over. As he was coming over, he slipped and fell down. So Giles got behind the front guy in a zone, and the back guy was Kennard, and he fell down. You know, as you look at this by quarter, you see the Eagles getting that 14 points in the fourth quarter, and that's what they wanted. They wanted the ball when they decided to go into the win in the third quarter, that they would get the ball in the fourth quarter. So now you look back and say, hey, that was a smart decision.
Brilliant. 56 yards they went in 6 plays, kept it 1 minute and 3 seconds. And then Cunningham hit Giles from 40 yards away. 20-20. Well, when the Giants led by 14, you said, I smell overtime.
You could just see it coming. It was something about, you know, you lead by 14, then they're going to tend to relax. The urgency comes in the other team, and you could just see that an overtime would be a possibility. This is an interesting play here, though. I think they should kick it deep. But do they go for the onside kick or kick it deep?
The Giants do not appear to be expecting an onside kick. They expect it correctly. It's going to be Roussan. The ball goes into the end zone and out. (20-20). Giants and Eagles with 48 seconds left to play. The Giants have 2 timeouts left.
And I think the Giants going into the win here, I think, will be happy just to run the clock out. I wouldn't expect that they would go and try and make a couple of big plays.
And then you hope you win the toss when you start into overtime.
That's always a big thing in overtime, but when you have a win like today, then you have another decision. Do you win the toss? Do you take the ball, or do you take the win?
And you're exactly right. They're just going to run it out and send it into overtime. Not very popular with the fans.
And the Eagles only have 1 timeout, so they have to let them run it out. There's nothing the Eagles can do about it.
They're taking their time, and the clock less than a half a minute now.
I know Bill Parcells has to be thinking now what he's going to do on this flip. Buddy Ryan's thinking the same thing. I think if I wanted to flip, I think I would take the wind instead of the ball.
Giants headed over to the sideline.
That's what that guy says. He'd take the ball, he says, that guy.
And now the Eagles
Last timeout.
take a timeout. I don't understand exactly why.
It just upset him. That's Buddy Ryan. I think Buddy likes to do that. Next time out, we'll show him. Look, slide in, something up, pick him up, boom. Got signals for that?
I know that means something.
Well, hook 'em Longhorns or something. Yeah, Buddy has a play for that, doesn't he? Wasn't that the Eagles play where you go down on one knee, then you stand up and throw the ball?
Yep.
Maybe that's what he was saying. Watch out for the old slide down, throw up.
And the Giants just run it out. The Eagles have used all their timeouts. We'll take a 3-minute break. And then they'll play until somebody scores. If nobody scores, that'll be it.
Well, this is a situation where the coin flip is going to be very interesting. It always is because, you know, the team that gets a ball, you always think has an advantage. But now, I don't know if you want the ball.
You'd be inclined to consider, certainly, taking the wind instead of the ball. Harry Carson, the Giant captain, had started to come out. Bill Parcells called him back. The Eagle captains were already out there. Clark, White, Baker.
I think Harry got some instructions and then got some re-instructions.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Who's going to call it? Call it while it's in the air. They called tails. As it is, New York won the toss. You want the ball? Oh, you want to defend this goal? Okay. Go ahead.
Gene Barca, oh?
New York won the toss and elected to defend this goal, which means they'll kick.
Well, they did exactly what you figured. The Giants took the wind and took the goal they wanted to defend. And they'll start again in a minute. In overtime, Philadelphia is 3-6-2. And the Giants 4-5-1.
Well, and of course, the Eagles won last week. So one of those three was last week against the Patriots. Look at this.
The score is 20-20. And the time of possession 30-30.
That is amazing when that comes out. I mean, exactly the same on both sides. I don't know that I've ever seen that. I think that's an NFL record. I think we just set a record today.
I'm sure it tied one. Look at the total offense.
I think that's another NFL record. Well, especially if that was 260, I know that would be a record. We're setting a lot of records here. And here's another record. Guys holding balls for kickers.
A lot of new categories. Both teams have 14 first downs. Allegre's kick is deep. But Carter starts at the 1. Dodges out of the pack. Gets up to the 26. Lee Roussan made the stop. A return of 27 yards.
This will be an interesting thing because the Eagles, again, had all their success going with the win. But I still think they can still have some of the same type of success going into the win, and namely Cunningham running around more.
You think back to that Allegre field goal that hit the upright and bounced out. Here's Cunningham. Jackson makes the reception, stopped by Perry Williams. Gain of maybe 9.
I think if you're going to play in overtime, they're going to put Lawrence Taylor in. We see him now. Now he's not as a down lineman. He's at his normal position as the outside linebacker. That was Michael Haddix coming across trying to block him. That's a tough thing. Any back trying to block Lawrence Taylor by himself, even on one leg, is an impossibility.
When he has a chance to run 5 or 6 yards and get up ahead of steam and come at you. That's almost, as you say, an impossible task. Here's Cunningham. Taken down by George Martin. 6 sacks by the Giants.
Big play by George Martin making that tackle. If he doesn't make that, Cunningham has room to get a first down.
As it is, it's 3rd and 4. Martin heads out, and the Giants put in their extra defensive backs along with Andy Hedden.
And that's when Martin goes out now, is when Lawrence Taylor becomes a defensive left end.
Flag on the play. Cunningham comes out. They intended for Jackson. Terry Kennard very nearly intercepted it. Penalty is going to be against the Eagles.
Against the Eagles, an incomplete
Illegal
3rd
motion.
down.
Number 26, he broke before the snap. Penalty refused. 4th down.
I was going to say they'll probably refuse it and make the Eagles punt.
Into the wind. Telchik is already on the field, and McConkey is at the other end. This, by the way, ties an Eagle team record for number of punts in a game. The NFL record, by the way, is held by the Giants, 14 in a game. Short kick. McConkey has to let it bounce, and does. And the Eagles come down to down it. 24-yard punt by Telchik. Falcons have defeated the Dallas Cowboys. A long year at Texas Stadium. Indianapolis Colts beat Cleveland. The Rams over Detroit. San Francisco 23-12 over Green Bay. Pittsburgh beats Seattle. That's another surprise. Washington over St. Louis. Kansas City and Cincinnati are in overtime. Houston over San Diego. The late games. Odessa Turner split wide to the left. Sims intended for Mowat, incomplete. Slipped out of his hand. Clark put the rush on Sims. Andy Hedden. He has a bruised thumb, and that's why Taylor's doing so much more playing.
I think the other reason is because they want Taylor in there, or Taylor wants to be in there because he's better than anyone else they got.
With a leg and a half. Sims back to throw again. Bavaro up the middle, almost is picked off by Terry Hogue. He had a clean shot at it.
Terry Hogue is thinking, you know, they've gone to that seam pass, they've gone to that post pass to Bavaro. He's had success at getting by the linebackers. Hogue was just sitting back there as a free safety, that thing, keeping everything in front of him, getting as deep as the deepest, and he got a big jump on that one. And that has to be so frustrating. You do everything right except the final thing of catching the ball.
3rd down and 10. The Giants at their own 43. Manuel in motion. Sims out of the spread formation. The Eagles on a blitz. They had Sims, and he dropped the ball. It bounced right back to him. Clyde Simmons was the first Eagle there. 4th sack by Philadelphia.
And Andre Waters came on a blitz. I'll tell you, it doesn't do you any good to have the wind if you can't get the pass off.
I believe that's Reggie White, the injured Eagle.
I'll tell you one thing about this Eagle defense. It doesn't have the names like the Bears have had and thing, but they sure are a scrappy group. I mean, they move things around. They use different defenses all the time. Watch this. They bring the safety. You see Waters, number 20, defensive back, coming from the outside. You see a stunt in the middle, different types of coverages. I'll tell you, they do get all over you. Well, the Giants had a couple lucky breaks there. You know, Hogue should have had that interception, and Sims did fumble the ball there.
And it bounced right back to him. This is Reggie White, who's down. 13:05 left in overtime. And the Giants and the Eagles are tied at 20. but what a beautiful sunset. 20-20 in overtime. Giants and the Eagles. Landeta back to punt. Bobby Morse back to the Eagles. Good kick. Chases Morse all the way back to his own 8-yard line. He gets away from 2 and struggles out to the 20. The Eagles again will have to operate against the wind. Gary Reason's down to make the stop. Reggie White, who walked off. 53-yard punt it was by Landeta. 10-yard return. The Redskins improve their record to 9-3.
Hey, we'll see the Redskins next week against the Cowboys. And, you know, when you talk about teams and coaches, the Redskins don't always get the respect as one of the top teams. But I'll tell you, they are, and I think Joe Gibbs is one of the best coaches in the league.
No question about that. The Redskins clinch the NFC East and head into the playoffs again. Tony hit behind the line first by Marshall and then finished off by Eric Howard.
Some penetration. You see Leonard Marshall lines up here. Usually he lines up out here, but here he has this where he can just split the gap. You see he's in position to get that penetration right now. The center tries to block back on him, and there's no way that he can reach him in there.
Impossible task. Second down and 10. Ball's at the 20. Here's Cunningham back to throw it. Taylor chases down Anthony Toney. Along with Mark Collins.
Yeah, you hate to talk about one guy as, you know, so much, but this Lawrence Taylor and the effort that he puts on without practice, with a pulled hamstring, just going down. He never leaves his feet. He's rushing the passer, turns around. Look at him run down the field and make these types of plays. I've been watching this guy for years, and he never ceases to amaze me, the things he can do.
And again, you could see him limping as he started in pursuit, but he still got there. Cunningham back to throw. Michael Haddix just dropped it.
I don't know what Greg Lasker was doing. He was coming on a blitz, and he was just wide open. They didn't block him, and he pulls up. Watch him here, number 46. He starts out there. He's going after Cunningham. No one blocks him. What do you stop for? Had he driven right through him, there's no way he gets that ball off.
Telchik will punt. Gets off a good kick against the wind. Chases McConkey back to his 36-yard line where he signals fair catch. 45-yard punt and a good one by Telchik.
You know, the bad thing about this, or the tough thing for the Eagles, is that in overtime, there's no way they're going to get the win. Maybe they ought to divide overtime up like 7.5 minutes, 2 periods, 7.5 minutes, and let them each have the win for half of it.
On a day like today, that's not a bad idea. First and 10 Giants at their own 37. 11 minutes and 24 seconds left in overtime. Screen pass coming to Adams. And Sims wisely threw it away. Clyde Simmons read it perfectly.
Sims had to do what he did because Reggie White was coming free up the middle. Clyde Simmons started on the rush to the outside, and as you say, he came off with it. That's what you do, is you rush, and then when you see screen and he's looking towards you, then you get between the quarterback and the guy who's going to catch a screen pass.
Odessa Turner splits wide to the left. 2nd and 10. Adams and Roussan back in the backfield with Sims. Pass was deflected, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Ken Clark batted it down.
Ken Clark is right there over the center, working right up the middle on Oates and Godfrey. He's double teamed, and you see that he just lifted his left hand up and batted that one down.
11:16 left to play in overtime. That's Tony Galbert back there with Sims this time. coming after Sims. Pass intended for Manuel, I believe. No, Mark Ingram. And it's incomplete. Russell Gray was coming on the blitz and chasing Sims out of the pocket. And Landeta comes on again.
You know, this wouldn't be a bad time if you were the Eagles to go for a punt block, because you're having trouble going into the wind anyway.
He'll set back. Landeta gets off another dandy. And the ball bounces out of bounds. Bounces away from Bobby Morse. And the Eagles find themselves buried deep in their own territory again.
I think Morse is saying that he was hit before the ball got there. That the guy in coverage has to give him the opportunity to catch the ball. But he was wrong on that because the ball bounced. The ball hit the ground.
Deep in their own territory. Backed up to their own 4-yard line are the Eagles after a 59-yard punt by Landeta.
This is where the Giant defense wants to go after him. I think this is where you get up and you press him. You don't give him any cushion or any breathing room down here.
Haddix is the lone setback. That's Haddix with the ball to about the 7. Lawrence Taylor. He picked up 3.
What the Eagles are doing, you see here, is they go in a balanced offense. 2 tight ends. Just one back. Let everyone go man for man. Give the ball to Haddix and let him pick a hole. Whereas the Giant defense didn't cooperate. There weren't any holes. Oh, pick a hole play.
2nd and 7 at the 7. The Eagles take a timeout. Cunningham not happy with what he saw. So they'll have 1 left in overtime.
Maybe it's under that blanket.
2nd down and 7 at the 7. The Eagles back in their own end zone. Cunningham trying to keep his hands warm.
Maybe it's in that pouch there. Maybe it's in one of those boxes. Where's the mouthpiece?
On. That's Giles in motion, and Cunningham back to throw. Throws out to Giles. Giles, I think with that last dive, got a 1st down. And a gain of 10. Kenny Hill knocked him out of bounds.
Well, that was a play that they talked about on the sideline, because he said Randall Cunningham called timeout, wasn't satisfied with the play, went over to the sideline, got one. They came up with take Jimmy Giles, put him at tight end on the right, and throw him an out right in front of the 1st down marker.
First and 10 at the 17. Giles on the move again this time. To Jackson, behind him. Jackson hit by Kenny Hill. And incomplete.
Hey, Jackson was open for a second there, and Kenny Hill, after he dropped the ball, Kenny Hill really leveled him. Isn't this something? We have 2 Ivy League players in this game, 1 on offense, 1 on defense, from the same school. John Spagnola on offense, of course, and Kenny Hill, both from Yale.
Cunningham has a 2nd and 10 situation now at his own 17. Fake handoff behind Baker, chased by Taylor, and down goes Cunningham. 7 sacks by the Giants.
In the first game, it was Lawrence Taylor that caught him. And you remember, here's Lawrence Taylor again. You're going to watch him catch him again. Buddy Ryan says Lawrence Taylor was the only guy that could have made that play. If you watch him here, he's probably one of the few guys that could have made that play on him.
That'll make it 3rd and 20, all the way back at the 7-yard line. coming out of there. And hit right at the 1-yard line by Carl Banks. Lawrence Taylor might have hurt himself again.
I think he did. If there was anything left in that leg, I think he got it there. Taylor is right here. You'll see him there. He starts on the outside, and now Cunningham is going to come out this side, his side. I think right there when he turned it on, I think he hurt it again.
McConkey fields Telchik's punt and gets out of bounds at the 35. William Frizzell chased him out.
So you'll see Taylor coming from the outside, and then Banks is the guy who was originally, he was going to finally make the tackle. Look, he gets flushed out. He gets by Taylor right there. Marshall can't catch him, so he gets out of the end zone, and here comes 58. Almost put him right back in it.
Almost a safety. Giants have it 1st and 10 at the Philadelphia 34. 9:13 left in overtime. Morris and Maurice Carthon. Manuel moves in motion. They give this to Morris. Nothing there. A loss maybe of 1. Ken Clark led the Eagle defense.
I don't think the Giants can become too conservative right here, Pat, because right now they have a field goal, but it's a 50-yard field goal. I would think if they could get 1 or 2 more first downs, they could feel much more comfortable.
Actually, Morris might have lost a yard on that last play. There's Lawrence Taylor, and he did hurt himself again.
He's a warrior.
2nd and 11. Sims back to throw it. That was Odessa Turner. Sims looked like he started to go deep and then held it up. Oh, Roydell
Looks
Young.
like he's frustrated. If you watch right in the middle of the screen there, Lawrence Taylor, you can see him when he's chasing Cunningham. You can see where the leg gives out. Watch right there as he starts to run, and you can just see that the thing gave out on him again. You see him go to grab it.
The right hamstring. 3rd and 11. Sims hadn't had much luck in overtime. Hand off to Tony Galbraith, and he slips down. Inside the 35 at about the 33. Gain of only a yard, and here comes Allegre. Seth Joyner made the stop. And you're right, it's going to be maybe a little bit longer than 50 yards. Of course, he hit 2 down at Veterans Stadium from over 50 yards. And he's got the wind at his back. Now they're short a man. Can't afford a penalty.
They can take a timeout here. They have to take a timeout.
That's what Bill Parcells is saying. And they take one.
He has to be upset with that offense. And Buddy Ryan, you know, is pleased with his defense. You know, getting that first down there and not being able to gain a yard. And then having to kick the field goal from this far.
Right at 50 yards it'll be. Pat Summerall and John Madden. 20-20 tie. We're in overtime. 7:54 left in the overtime period.
Of course, that shows that he does have the wind, and that was the thing that the Giants did when they went into overtime. Instead of taking the ball, they chose to go this way so they could have the wind.
Well, this wind is very difficult because up on top of the stadium it goes in one direction, and when you get down on the floor of the stadium it goes in the other direction.
I think, excuse me.
I was just going to say, and at this end particularly, it swirls around there. Difficult to read.
I think Raul Allegre is much more relaxed in a long field goal situation in the shorter kind. Because you can let out everything, and you're really not expected to make all the long ones.
Now we're set to go. From 50 yards to win it. Allegre with Rutledge holding. picked it up. Hogue headed upfield to the 30. That ball never got high enough. Seth Joyner hit it, but the ball was never high enough to begin with.
Well, it looked like the Giants didn't realize on a blocked field goal that you can return it. And you watch 59, there's Joyner. You see him right in the middle of the screen right now. He goes up, he got his right hand on it, and that deflected it just enough. Buddy Ryan saw that. The Giants didn't know it. The Giants weren't covering it. He was trying to get a return. To return a blocked field goal.
Hogue got it back to the 29. Just goes right straight ahead. No gain. 7.5 minutes left in overtime. Haddix might have gotten a couple. Harry Carson made the stop. 20-20 in the overtime period with 7:20 left to play.
I think Bill Parcells is more upset with his offense when they got that opportunity and they got that first down and those 3 plays that they ran more than the missed field goal.
2nd and 7. Giles on the other side, and now he uses another timeout. And so the Eagles have used both of theirs in the overtime period. 7 minutes exactly remaining. 20-20. Giant Stadium, 7 minutes left. Look at Bill Parcells and his reaction after the field goal was deflected and still in play.
Well, he knew that it could be returned, and his guys weren't running down there to cover it. And that's what he was yelling at. Get down there and cover it. They can return that. And Hogue came very close to breaking that.
2nd and 7 for the Eagles at their own 32. Cunningham to throw. If he can get rid of it. The hat went down on the other side, which indicates that whoever the receiver was went out of bounds. And once you get out, you're out.
So the hat comes back on because it was an incomplete pass. You'll see once a receiver goes out of bounds, he can't come back in and catch again. You'll see the receiver go out, and the official marked that the receiver went out.
3rd down. Cunningham steps up, tries to get out of it. And Greg Lasker is right there. And the ball's loose momentarily. Nine sacks by the Giants.
Well, Greg Lasker again is the extra defensive back. Watch him, he's rushing from the outside. Marshall was the first guy there, and then he made Cunningham bring the ball down, step up, and there was number 46.
Telchik back to punt again. McConkey back deep for the Giants. Another hanging good punt at the 40. McConkey goes out of bounds. And so the Giants will take over. 36-yard punt by Telchik. 6:27 left to play. Just to get you up to date on the scores, Atlanta beat Dallas. Indianapolis hanging right in there. And the Rams keep getting better and better, it looks like. Redskins have won the NFC East. Cincinnati beat Kansas City in overtime. The Raiders 10-7 over Buffalo, and New Orleans assured of a winning season, leading Tampa Bay. Here's Sim. And Bavaro to the 30. Protecting the ball to the 20. Roynell Young. And a pickup of 36. Sims to Bavaro.
You see Bavaro on that time he wasn't going to let him sneak in from behind and hit him again. He kept looking back. Watch him. He's going to be wide open here. He's going to come open. Good protection. Here he comes across. Sims steps up. Bavaro steps up. His man falls down. Now watch him look back. He looks, he's looking back, he's looking back. No one's going to sneak up from him and pop that ball out on that run.
His 6th completion of the day. This is Adams looking for some room, and he gets down inside the 15.
A big play by the Giants and a big play by Bavaro. But watch what happens to Terry Hogue here as Bavaro comes in here and catches the ball. Hogue is coming this way, and he falls down. Watch, here comes Bavaro. Watch Hogue right there fall down. And then Bavaro is wide open.
2nd down and 3. The ball at the 13. Here's Adams again, down to about the 10, close to a 1st down. Clyde Simmons on the bottom of the pile. Here comes Allegre. Why wait around? Let's go ahead. On 3rd down, they'll go for the field goal.
Well, you know, when you're 3rd and short here, you do have an opportunity to go for a fake field goal here. Or if it's a bad snap, then you pick up another chance at it.
You leave yourself a safety down. 28 yards for Allegre. Rutledge holding. Bang. The Giants win it in overtime. 23-20 with 4:49 left in overtime. Allegre's 28-yard field goal does it. Bavaro, whose big catch set it up. 23-20. Remind you to stick around. We'll have a studio update coming up.